on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can help find the fix for free.
Get in zone.
This whole report for free?
That's right. Printed and on your phone for free.
Get in zone.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. It's my least favorite day, I think, of the week. I'm right there with you.
Why is Wednesday your worst day of the week?
I'll explain it in a second. It's the
All right.
Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien. That's Randy White.
Hi.
Over there, the sun-kissed Keon Rose, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I don't know, just it's the middle of the week, and it's just this weird no man's land. You know what I mean? Not a lot going on. There just isn't. There's some stuff. We got plenty of stuff to talk about. Don't worry about that.
Sure.
But I'm just saying, it's like Monday, we got Monday Night Football. Tuesday, we talk about the Monday Night Football and it's sort of where things are and where they're going. Thursday, we got Thursday Night Football. We do all our picks and we talk fantasy football. And then Friday, we'll be getting ready for the weekend. Wednesday is just this big turd floating in the middle of the life toilet. Just doesn't just Seems like an awfully long day, doesn't it?
Usually.
Seems like maybe longer than the others. I don't know. Maybe other people have different experiences with Wednesdays than I do. But you know, that's
Guess
why.
I never looked at Wednesdays that way before.
I mean, listen, once we get rolling here, you know, won't even think about it. We got plenty of stuff to talk. I got some man talk for everybody today. My
Oh, that
wife,
sounds good.
she was like, "Hey, well, why don't you ever do the man talk?" I'm like, I don't know, just hasn't come up. We've been just very busy doing other things. So today, I actually have some cool stuff for man talk, so we'll do that. What else is going to happen today? No, I'm not really. I'm asking you guys. Anything?
Oh,
no. I know we got
well,
a GCU game tonight.
We do.
there's a GCU game tonight.
Which, you know, somebody's getting stomped and it's not GCU. And then we got an ASU game tonight.
Hey, there you go.
They're going to stomp the living daylights out of Cal Poly. This is not like ASU love. This is just fact. This is just
Cal
you know,
Poly's not very good.
but it'd be a fun game to go to. Hey, and I've got tickets if somebody wants tickets.
Well, there you go. See, the Wednesday's starting to look up already.
Yeah, we got them last minute yesterday, and then I kind of forgot about them again. And then so today I've got tickets. So here's the deal: if you want a parking pass and a pair of tickets to watch Arizona State play Cal Poly tonight, it's tonight at 7 p.m. over there at ASU. I can take care of that for you. Now, I'm not even going to do a contest. It's just whoever wants them first gets them. That's how that's going to work.
Really? So
Yeah.
starting right now? Or?
Yep. Just give me your full name and your email address. First come, first serve on that.
Wow. What a hell of a way to start off a show on a Wednesday.
Yeah, we got them last minute, and I blew it yesterday, so we're gonna make it easy. Gonna make it easy for you. Let's see. What else is going on? It's National Botox Day.
Well,
you can say, "Hey, happy National Botox Day," and you can tell who's used it by the fact their facial expressions don't even change.
Hey, Botox Day.
Just completely. Look, if somebody looks like you're looking at them with your eyeballs, but there's like an Instagram filter over them, that's Botox. They're supposed to be, lines, movement, things. So Botox, that's only been around since the 1980s.
Really?
Yeah, I got nothing interesting to say about Botox, to be honest.
Well, you're shooting a botulism in your face.
Yeah, botulism.
Intentionally.
My first experience with botulism was on Starsky and Hutch. And it was an episode where Hutch got into a bad can of food. I'm not making this up. And he ended up with botulism, and he was like just out of his mind, like throwing up crazy, but it made him crazy. And I remember watching that as a kid, like being, oh God, you should never get botulism. Botulism will make you crazy like Hutch. And I don't want to be Hutch. I want to be like Starsky. Because when we played Starsky and Hutch on the playground,
you were Starsky.
I was Starsky.
Yeah. Well, you had the cool car.
Well, Hutch wore a cardigan. I just can't.
Anyway,
so
is he sang that "Can't Give Up on Us" baby song?
Yeah, I wish I'd never heard it. Latina Leprechaun says, "Are you accusing me of using Botox, Jeffrey? How dare you? This is all natural. Then how come I can't tell that you're angry except for the fact you're talking? You know,
I mean, Botox Day.
Your whole face is smooth." Moist one says, "Oh, the Botox does help with migraines." Oh, I've heard that. Because I guess because you're always scowling. You got a headache, I guess. ASU Buddy says Wednesday is like that turd in the Caddyshack movie. Dude, are you kidding me? That was a Snickers bar or a Baby Ruth, whatever that was. That was edible. Big George says hello. He says, "I guess the Suns are in a free fall." Just stop, George. They're not in a free fall. They're injury ridden. That's not the same thing. They have everybody who matters is hurt. George,
except for Booker.
Yeah.
George says, "Randy, are you worried about the Suns?"
No,
we're not worried. I mean, we could worry if these injuries are going to last months instead of days, instead of weeks. Then we'd be worried.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about
Beal and Durant are set to return on the 26th.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's a few days from now, George. You go, fine.
And there's a lot of basketball they don't have to play between that.
Fine.
Yeah.
He says, how about this then? Christian Walker opting out. How do you feel about that, Randy?
See you later.
So who's playing first base next season?
Got a lot of guys in the farm league. We've got a healthy farm system, and I'm sure the Diamondbacks will figure it out. Also gives us some options in the lineup. I mean, Christian Walker, yeah, he was a valuable member of that lineup, but was he everything though, George? Really? I just think that George, among many Phoenix fans, don't like change. You know what I mean?
No.
People are still crying over Paul Goldschmidt, the Diamondbacks letting Goldschmidt go. And look what, my God. He went away. He won an MVP, and that was it. And now the St. Louis Cardinals are not bringing him back this coming season. They're going to let him walk.
Goldie is like, that's years and years ago. That's a lot of years ago.
And people are still upset about it.
I'm not upset about anything.
I mean, it was sad to see him go. Arizona prospect. We brought him up through the farm system. But who knows? Maybe the next Goldie or maybe the next Christian Walker is down in our farm system.
Ew. Sorry. Moist One says, I like to use Botox to get all the wrinkles out of the old leather Cheerio.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure it's gross.
Ooh.
Dodger Danny says, Christian Walker opting out, probably looking for a better contract. He could still come back.
Well, yes, but I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to give him what he wants.
What does he want? Tell me what he wants, what he really wants.
Lots of money.
That doesn't rhyme with anything in that song.
Sorry.
So GCU tonight, Keon. The UC Davis Aggies. Is that something that GCU needs to be worried about, or is this just another, notch in the belt?
I mean, play obviously up to the level that you expect to play to the standard you expect to, but as a fan, I ain't worried. they're going to steamroll those guys.
All right. Well, that's on the radio here. The broadcast starts at 6:45 p.m. tonight. The play night ain't all fanatic. And then, like I said, ASU. ASU is favored by 15.5 points. Well, GCU is favored in their game by 16.5.
No, I saw the number as high as 17 today. So
wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Now tonight, the Suns are the underdogs. I wonder why. Could it be all the injuries? Probably. Bradley Beal is out. Nurkic, game time decision. And, of course, Colin Gillespie, the linchpin of the entire situation, out. Taking a look at the list for the Knicks, since I don't really know any of the players on the Knicks anyway, I don't know if these guys matter. There's, I know there's Towns.
I was going to say, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah. Not personally, but so
but nobody that the Knicks have out is going to affect them.
Mm-hmm.
They're a pretty loaded roster. Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, a guy called Mikal Bridges.
I missed Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, well, he'll be here tonight too. So
great.
Yeah, I think the Knicks
doesn't look good.
Knicks are healthy, and it does not look good.
Oh well. So maybe just watch GCU. Maybe just go see the ASU game. Not even pay attention to this anymore. Latina Leprechaun says, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So you tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I want to I want to I really, really want a zigzag. Zig-a-zag? Is that zig-a-zig? I don't know what a zig-a-zig is. What? I really, really want a zig-a-zig. Do you guys know what a zig-a-zig is?
Not at all. No.
I guess I'll Google it.
Is it the opposite of a zag-zag?
I would have to think so. Let's see here. Zig-a-zig just goes right to the Spice Girls.
Wow.
Hell does zig-a-zig mean? I think that is something they made up.
Probably.
Could be. Artistic license,
Oh, well. 888-368-1580. The magnificent Mr. Mormon says, so if the GCU game is on your station, is Thursday Night Football on Money Radio? What? Shut up. What? It's tonight.
It's Wednesday.
It's tonight.
The game
Thursday
is
night
today.
football.
What day do you think it is, magnificent Mr. Mormon? Is that a thing? Mormons aren't allowed to have calendars? Do you know what day it is? It's not 1860, whatever. Okay, so round the wagons and just trust us. It's Wednesday. T. Lisher says, "Happy Wednesday, mofo's. My Cubs will take Walker if Diamondbacks don't want him. We need some power." I don't know. Is this one of those things where the owner of the Diamondbacks actually, all right, let's write this check, and you're like, oh, you wrote a check. We shouldn't have wrote that check. Or is this a thing where he just writes the wrong check again?
I don't think so.
Is this the right check?
And quite honestly, with one of the best farm systems in Major League Baseball, I don't see Christian Walker coming back to the Diamondbacks.
You really think that they're going to bring somebody up who's comparable?
I do.
So you are anti-Christian Walker.
I am not anti-Christian Walker. I am very much pro Christian Walker, and I think he's a wonderful player. But the Diamondbacks are not going to pay him what he wants. He wants lots and lots and lots of money.
Bat Flipper says, "I have zigzag for days." I think that's something different than a zig-a-zig.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some dumb lyrics, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, what do you expect?
Well, okay. So next thing, I just realized something.
What?
I'm starting looking at. I don't have a whole lot of show here. we just burnt through. Well, probably usually take an hour.
And all of Jeffrey's prep, we burned through it now. The first 20 minutes.
I was like, what have I been doing all day? I don't know. So, what do you want to talk about? I can just walk right off the show. How screwed are you guys?
Very obviously.
Where's Just the Tip? Because he kept asking us all these questions on Monday and Tuesday, and I'm like, dude, save that. We're kind of busy right now. And I was like, well, and then now it's like, I just go back to Just the Tip and starts reading some of his older texts, what he put in here, because he was asking me all sorts of questions about, I guess coaches and GMs, and he asked us, what is more important, the GM or the coach?
I thought we answered that one, and it's the GM. The GM usually hires the coach. So typically, if you have a dumb GM, he hires a dumb coach, and then you're just screwed from the top down. But also, even if you have a great coach, if your GM's bad, if your coach, I don't care what your coach's scheme is, if you don't have players who can execute it. So either he doesn't get talented players, which is a thing that happens often enough. I've seen that a bunch of times with my team over the years. Or he gets players who are great. They just don't fit anything. They're just that way. Like, this is our scheme asks this player to do something that they are objectively not good at doing. I think you have to have a good GM. And then, even if you have a mediocre coach, you'll at least have a talented football team. Can't really say that the other way around.
A lot of times you see a coach out there and you're like, well, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, probably having good ones of those more important than having a really good head coach. I mean, they're not the ones making the decisions a lot of times. Every time you see it, they cut to a shot of the head coach and he's just standing there. His mouth ain't moving.
I don't know
that coach is just letting everybody else do stuff. When they're doing this, covering their mouth, now you're like, okay, that guy's involved. That guy is doing things. That guy is saying, no, I think we got to do something else.
I don't know that that's necessarily true, because
why else would they cover their mouth?
Well, no, I think that's true that the coach is involved in those moments, but I don't think that the coach isn't doing anything. You're like, if you delegate for your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator to call plays, like, there are still things in the game that you are responsible for, like the timeouts and figuring out when you're going to go for it on 4th down or when you're going to go for it on 2. Those are your decisions that then your coordinators have to execute. So, like, that stuff matters too. But also, the coach is the one responsible for putting his staff together. So if you have an offensive coordinator who's good, it's because the coach hired him. And that is a guy that's well connected in the league. You have to know how things are going on other teams. But like, you get worried sometimes with some of these very young head coaches, because, like, how many people do you know? How could you fill out a staff if you don't know anybody? Like, that stuff is all part of it. Like, Harbaugh doesn't call plays, and yet the guy wins everywhere he goes because he installed the structure of that team. And I don't think that you can just discount that because he's not calling the plays from down to down.
So you're saying is you need a head coach to get the coordinators in place. But once that happens, you're fired. And you can just still win that year because you don't need them anymore. You got them. You got everybody you need now.
I disagree. I think that if you have a head coach with good coordinators, and he's a bad head coach, he will lose you winnable games because when it's time to call timeouts and keep track of when you're supposed to and how many you have, this is the biggest downfall of like a guy like Mike McCarthy. He genuinely, his clock management sucks. That's not up to his coordinators. That's all on him.
I'm just saying, if I get fired, you guys are fine.
I don't know that that's true.
Because
I can't guarantee that. I don't know that that's 100% true.
Bullseye says Keon said something about doing a top 50 countdown to the biggest NFL draft bust the last time there was a boring part of the calendar. That doesn't sound very exciting by itself.
And I don't think I said we were going to do a countdown of a top 50. Just if we're talking about it, let's
top
talk about
50 draft busts.
Let's just talk about them and have some fun with it. Yeah. I don't recall talking about a top 50. I don't really rank things. So,
well, who do you think is the biggest draft bust of all time?
Of all time?
Yep.
Well, if we're talking NFL, for me, it's hard to move past a guy like Jamarcus Russell, who had all the talent in the world and also was the laziest person to probably ever have been drafted. It's not great.
Yep.
And also in the days where the rookie quarterbacks got big guaranteed money. So they paid him all of that money and he didn't do anything.
Every team's going to be able to tell you who theirs is.
Yeah, which I think is interesting too.
But, so how do you determine who the biggest one of all time is?
I think you have to account for, what it cost the team to get that player. Like if you traded up 10 spots in the draft to number 1 and then drafted a guy who was terrible, to me, that is much worse than you were bad and drafted a guy that was bad. It only costs you 1 pick. Whereas if you traded up from 10 to 1, it probably cost you a lot more than that. So he's wasting multiple of your picks.
Hurry Harry says Ryan Leaf.
He's up there. I mean, he's up there.
Oh, yeah.
Hurry Harry says the head coach should act like the conductor of an orchestra. Okay.
Or the CEO of a corporation, right?
I don't know. When I see a coach just stand there not talking, I'm like, hey, you should be talking to people. You should be working this.
I mean, not really, because you can still be in charge of the situational football of how everything is going. That stuff matters too, but that doesn't require that you flap your gums all the time. Like that, you leave that to the people you hired to do that job.
I don't know. If I'm the owner of a team and I got a coach sitting there and be like, just every now and then look like you're doing something.
Well, boy, Pete, you talk about gun flapping. Pete Carroll was the biggest gun flapper.
Yeah, but you can tell that ain't talking. That's chewing.
No, well, he would talk all the time. He would talk all the time about anything and everything, but he was just wearing the hell out of that bubble gum.
Latina Leprechaun says, well, if you're looking for something to talk about, can we talk about the ASU women's basketball team? They beat the snout out of the Oregon State Beavers on Sunday. They got a good team. Well, okay, that's about as much as probably we're going to.
Can they call them the Oregon Lady Beavers?
Lady Beavers.
You could just call them the Beavers, but I mean, sure.
But yeah, I like how your voice to text changed snot into snout. That was fun. Big George says Levi Brown is the biggest NFL draft bust for the Arizona Cardinals. We took him over Adrian Peterson. Sheesh.
Oh no. That's the other thing with the draft bust is who came after. Because if you're in a bad draft and you drafted a guy number 1 and then the next 15 guys were terrible, can anybody blame you? You didn't have a lot of options. Now, if you drafted a bad player and the next 3 guys were really good, which happened to the Wizards, we don't have to talk about it. Then you feel worse. You feel worse.
But you don't ever know. You can't second guess somebody else is sitting there trying to draft somebody because you never know. The guy, here's where it's a bust, where everybody agrees, oh, that guy's going to be awesome. That's different.
Right.
But when you're sitting there going, how about this quarterback? And I leave Dak Prescott on the board and I went with somebody else. And then Dak had a better career. And the guy we went with is already gone. You're like,
there's times like that, but there's also times where you're the Minnesota Timberwolves and you need a point guard. And then you draft Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn, 2 point guards. And then the next guy is Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean.
And if you saw Steph in college, there's no way. What do you do there? And I say that as somebody who liked Johnny Flynn when they drafted him. But still.
What you end up with are mistakes busts, and sometimes just things you don't even see coming.
But sometimes they're the same thing.
What you got on your wrist there, Randy? He's giving me the sign of like, you're going long. Yeah, who gives a crap? But we'll go to break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns are home tonight as they take on the New York Knicks. Kevin Durant once again out with a calf strain. The Suns are riding a 4-game losing skid into tonight's contest, coming off Monday's home loss to the Orlando Magic, while the Knicks have won 3 straight. Phoenix is a 5.5-point home underdog tonight, minus 120 against the spread, while the Knicks minus the 5.5 or even money. On the money line, New York minus 205. Phoenix is at plus 170 with an over-under total of 223.5. Karl Anthony Towns averaging over 26 points and 12 rebounds per game for New York. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmansolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmansolar.com.
At Diamond Dave's Desert Wholesale Diamond,
we offer incredible diamonds, both mined and cultivated, all at amazingly low prices.
Check out these cultivated lab-grown diamond earrings.
2 carats total weight, collection color and lab-grown, only $25.90.
And she'd love this amazing tennis bracelet in natural mined.
4 carats total weight in yellow or white gold, only $39.90.
And how about this diamond chain in cultivated?
12.5 carats total weight, collection color and lab-grown, only $79.90.
And last but not least, especially this year, 1.5 carat floating diamond pendant.
Collection color and lab grown, only $9.90.
Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect? Please? I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price of participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display. Plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more. All at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte. Forte. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Sunday morning, catch live NFL coverage on The Fanatic.
Get your NFL Sunday started with Weekend Warriors from 9 till 10:30. Then at 10:30, the Minnesota Vikings pay a visit to the Chicago Bears in the Windy City. Minnesota looking to get their offense firing on all cylinders. Meanwhile, the Bears look to get a win. Vikings at Bears, 10:30 Sunday.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Okay, so Wednesday, I don't know, maybe there are more important things to talk about. Maybe I just, wasn't paying attention. But it feels like a slow day in the news. So I got a bunch of football to talk about later on, but right now, we're sort of, I don't know, we're just trying to figure out what we want to talk about. So somebody brought up the biggest NFL draft busts, and Weso Grande says, I don't think Josh Rosen was around long enough to even be considered a mistake. Oh, no, he was considered a mistake.
Yeah, he was so big a mistake that the head coach associated with him got fired. He was no longer a part of the team, and the coach and the quarterback got replaced the next year. That is a gigantic mistake.
I don't see how he was a mistake.
Draft
the team,
bust.
The team was
Randy.
absolute trash.
No,
They had
Randy.
no offensive line,
Randy.
no weapons.
He was the number one pick, and he stank. He was a draft bust.
I beg to differ with you. He didn't
stank.
stink.
Then why didn't he survive going other places?
Because he had a different calling on his life.
He stank.
It's like, no, because we've seen it with some of these other guys. They have a rough, Justin Fields, a rough Chicago tenure, but clearly there's something there in Pittsburgh. We never saw that with Josh Rosen when he got opportunities to play elsewhere. And he got at least 2 other opportunities to play elsewhere because he did play in Atlanta. And
I
he
know
did
you're
play in
trying to
Miami.
say it's not you, Josh, it's me, but it wasn't. It wasn't the Cardinals. It was Josh. Josh stank.
At least he played other places. I can think of one other draft bust.
Played. He didn't play. He was garbage other places.
Abhorrent draft. It was a waste of a draft. Matt Leinart.
No, he was a definite bust. Definite
Absolutely,
bust.
he was a bust. You're damn right.
But
Right, he was.
We're not arguing with you.
So is Rosen.
That Rosen was a bigger draft bust, but Rosen was a pretty damn big draft bust. Devil Hawk says, hi, I'd like to talk to Mo Ansari. He's not with us anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, what?
Did we accidentally play a commercial or something?
I don't recall that.
Huh. Prison Wallet says, I'm absolutely with Randy on this one. You took a first-round draft pick, put him behind a line that couldn't protect him. He spent most of his time on his back and, mentally never recovered.
That's true.
Well,
That's true.
Well, toughen up, Buttercup.
Well, the thing is, there are guys that happens to a lot of players. How come other guys can bounce back?
They're not Rosen. That's why.
Yeah, because Rosen stank. He was a bust.
He played 4 games, or he played 6 games in Miami.
He's a different calling on his life.
His stats are identical to his
He had a
Arizona
different
stats.
calling. How do you
Then
think
he
that
played
makes
2
your
games
point,
in
Randy?
Atlanta, and he was worse. He was worse.
He got here and he realized he had different calling on his life.
His calling on his life was playing bad football briefly before being.
His calling was to be a
Wasn't his
draft
fault.
bust.
Yeah,
It was not his fault. I blame drunk Kime
For drafting him.
Yes.
Thank you. Bat Flipper says, Keon, Cavs look legit because I see Mobley is a beast. Guards are too small, though. Your thoughts?
Yeah, they are. They do have small guards, but I don't think that that's necessarily an issue they can't possibly overcome. Though they didn't have a particularly great outing from Darius Garland yesterday, and I think also he got hurt. So no, but the Cavs are real, man. You don't start off the season 15-0 if you're not. There's not something there to what your team is. And Mobley's cool, man. I like that dude.
Golden Domer says, satellites from space. Are there satellites not from space that Harman Solar Electric uses?
To be fair,
are they like sea satellites?
Before a satellite is launched, it is a satellite
fair.
that is not in space.
It's impressive that it's in space, not that it's a satellite. I think you're really looking at the
leaning into
the wrong part of this. I don't think you're really focused in the right place.
It can calculate how much money you're going to save from outside of the atmosphere.
From space.
That's impressive.
It is a cool thing, though. I'm not lying in the commercial. I went to their website and I did that boop, beep, boop, boop thing, and it showed me how many how many solar panels we'd need and stuff. I'm like, yeah, my neighbors would love to see that on the front of my house. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that with my homeowners association.
Your house faces east?
The front of my house faces south. So it'd be great. I've got tons
it'd be
of
on
space.
the back of your house, wouldn't it?
No, the back of my house faces north. Listen,
yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah,
gotta
no,
trust
you're
the-
right. Yeah, no, wait.
You got to trust
Yeah,
the Harman Solar people know what they're doing.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, they're the best.
I saw a house where they didn't want to put it in the front. And so what they did is they put it on the back, but then instead of flat on the roof, they were all leaned up like that so they could catch the sun from the south. And I'm like, oh, well, that's a good idea. And Ralph said, well, it's fun until the wind comes. And then these things start flying around the neighborhood. And I'm like, I don't mind that either.
That's one haboob and then solar panels through somebody's windshield.
You've overestimated how much I care about my neighbors. So if these things start, I mean, I'll get the doorbell cam going. I'll make tons of money off the videos of these things just like flying into other people's front yards and houses.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even better if it takes out a bicyclist. I'm just, anyway.
Well, so 10 points right there. I mean,
but he says no, they won't do it. So whatever. Anyway, George says I'll stick with Levi Brown over Josh Rosen as a big Cardinals draft bust. Matt Leinart, he was bad too. Well, there's more draft busts than just on the Cardinals, though.
Yeah, but if you're just talking Cardinals stuff, then you try to worry about, like you said, what's the biggest draft bust on your team?
Who's that kid that he got buried somewhere at some team? Used to be from BYU and he was on the Jets.
Oh, Zach Wilson.
They had to keep using him. Remember him?
He kept banging everybody's mom.
He was a cougar banger.
Yeah.
I don't know if Zach Wilson's that big of a draft bust, though. Like, he obviously is one. He didn't fail, but he was better than most.
The Jets ruin a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
who's the biggest one for the Washington Commandos football team?
Oh, God. There's so many options. The biggest draft bust. I mean, I don't know. You could make the argument they drafted Dwayne Haskins entirely too high.
You had a string of quarterbacks you guys ruined, didn't you?
Almost all the ones we've ever drafted, regardless of where they were drafted. I mean, from the ones that actually looked good until we broke them physically, like RG3, to the guys that never even got the chance to look good, like Jason Campbell. I mean, you pick a guy. The Washington football team history is littered for the last 25 years with quarterbacks that didn't get the chance to do anything.
Yeah.
Because either our offensive line killed them or the team did or the field did.
Free Guy says RG3.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't count him as a bust because like there should have been more career there.
Yeah.
But the 1 year where he actually got to play healthy, they went to the playoffs and he every week was just a highlight reel. No, I don't count RG3 on that same level. No.
Free Guy says, yeah, we know you need solar panels, but how's your home security? It's like Fort friggin' Knox over here, man. You got cameras, motion detectors. Are you close to a freeway? I don't understand what that has to do with it. They talk about if I'll be able to see the solar panels go flying into the freeway. No, I don't live close to a freeway. And but no, as far as security goes, like a iron bear trap, just clunk. Don't even try it. Moldy Tuna Fish says, didn't the Washington team draft Carson Wentz?
No, the Eagles did.
The Eagles did that.
Washington foolishly traded for him after he was
an MVP.
His prime was over. But yeah, like in Philadelphia, Carson Wentz was great there. But
it's not a draft bust if you get to be the MVP and then you start to fall off. That's just an unfortunate circumstance. A draft bust is you've sucked long enough to get somebody really good and you bring them in and you're like, this guy is our savior, and nothing happens. That's a draft bust, not a guy who's like, hey, we're going to the Super Bowl and then nothing. Free Guy says, no, the freeway was to see if I can get out of there fast. Don't rob my house. Donnie says LeVar Arrington.
Wasn't he on like a version of Star Trek?
Donnie is really old.
No. And LeVar,
so very, very old.
LeVar Arrington wasn't a draft bust. LeVar Arrington? No.
I thought he was on Star Trek for some reason.
He was the guy with the hair clip on his face.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He was like Mr. Wilbur. Right? He was blind.
Yeah.
Devil Hawk says, when you go to that Harman Solar Space website, does a floating Ralph Romano bobblehead help you guide you on screen to your savings?
Maybe. You'll have to go there yourself, Wilbur, and look for. Oh,
that's Devil Hawk. It wasn't Wilbur.
Oh, okay.
Wilbur hasn't texted in today.
I thought it was Wilbur for some reason.
No. Mhm.
It was awkward.
I don't really have much to talk about.
Formula One's coming to Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they think it's this weekend. They'll be racing in the middle of the night on the strip.
Is that legal?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
they
it's
shut
less
the-
interesting.
Shut the strip streets down, and they race the cars there.
It does bring up something. We are, I'm waiting for the final green light to start doing it, but this Fuel Fest in Scottsdale, Fuel Fest at Westworld, that's starting on December 7th, and that's kind of cool.
Fuel Fest?
Yes, it's this massive car show. Got all these top modified and performance built cars and trucks from all over the world. And there's a course with fan ride alongs. That's fun. Concert, rap, I think, so we won't know any of these guys, but exhibits and all sorts of stuff. And then there's going to be a bunch of famous people showing up. So,
hey, that's pretty cool. I like the way this.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on the green light. Just waiting on the
Yeah.
green light to start giving away the tickets.
They got those. What do you call those drifter cars out there?
Yeah. If you like that kind of thing, then we got tickets. Hopefully, lots of them. Not lots of them, but a good bunch of them, I guess. Moldy Tuna Fish says, "Oh, my bad. You're right about Carson Wentz. Is it too early to call Michael Penix Jr. a draft bust? He looked bad this past weekend."
No, because he's a rookie, and he played the one, not even full game. What was it? Just the fourth quarter? No, it is not.
And nobody saw Michael Penix Jr. as the savior of a team. No, I mean, I think to be a draft bust, there has to be a higher expectation of what they're going to contribute when they get there.
I think when it comes to quarterbacks, though, the Falcons did move up in the draft to take him. So he's costing you more than just the one pick. And he is supposed to be the future of the franchise. Like, I think he could be a bust if he doesn't pan out, but he hasn't really played yet to pan out or not. So how can you say?
Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, will you be broadcasting live from the Phoenix Open this January? Well, nobody will be because it's in February. So
usually on the day of the Super Bowl, at least since I've been here. So
I don't know. We did it quite a bit there for a while. Then we took a break. I don't know. I just listen. Here's the thing about CRC broadcasting. Whatever we're going to be doing, we won't know until a few days before. So don't ask us.
Oh no.
That's just truth. Bat Flipper says, how about 70% of Raiders picks for draft busts right there?
The Raiders are another one of those teams with options. But I don't know, man. Jamarcus Russell is just, if you saw that dude play at LSU, you would have thought that this person's going to be impossible to defend against.
He was big. It seemed like he had a good head on his shoulders, knew how to play the game.
Had a howitzer attached to his arm. It was just like everything you could ask for. The guy was just lazy as all get out.
Yeah, when people get the draft and then they're lazy, we've had that guy, Big Baby. What was his? Zion Williamson was kind of one for a minute, because he got all fat. DeAndre Ayton, I wouldn't say he was lazy. He was just
he just didn't.
He gave you 75%.
Yeah, he didn't really have a high motor, which for the way he played basketball and the athletic abilities that he had, if he had played at 100%, we're having a very different conversation about that draft.
Yep. Whistling Gerbil says, how about Tony Mandarich?
Well, that's a sad story.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was a bust as much as it was he was, he was hooked. He just couldn't break the habit, man.
Hooked on what? Phonics?
No, he had a drug problem.
I know, which drug?
Oh, I don't remember now. It's too bad though.
Did he die?
I don't know if he's.
I've never heard his name before. Who?
Just it's a guy that Tony Mandrich, didn't he go to USC?
He went to the Canadian Football League is what he did.
Yeah, he went to Michigan State in college. He only went to the Canadian draft after
7 years. He played in the NFL for 7 years, according to my information here. He was the he got his pick. He was picked into. How does this work, guys? He got picked in the CFL draft in '88, but then he was picked in the NFL draft in '89, and he was just he was a lineman.
Yeah, and then he went to the NFL.
He was a lineman, and he had the roids going, and he was cheating, and it's just sad. It's a sad story.
I've never heard his story. Is this something everybody knows?
He was a second overall pick. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he was.
he was pretty well known at the time.
He was supposed to be this great, offensive lineman. He was going to be the next, great offensive lineman in the NFL. And they found out all this stuff about him. And
oh, shut up, Donnie. He was only on the Colts at the end, and from '96 to '98. He's like, Tony was a Colt. You're a Colts fan, fraud. Wow. So at the time, I just never noticed the guy. I don't know. Does that make me a fraud?
I don't think I don't think that does. If a guy is at the tail end of his career and he's on your team but clearly doesn't do anything, I don't think
Donnie,
so.
Your mom took an awful lot of my time at that time. I mean, she really did.
Oh boy.
She's very needy.
Oh God. So like Randy said, the steroids, but also he was addicted to alcohol and pain pills.
That was just a sad story, man.
Yeah, man.
Kringleberry says 20-pound solar panels flying around the neighborhood. I finally understand why there's so much harm in solar. Dude, you've been trying to work that joke for how many years?
I just want to point out that at no point in the process of you working that joke did it ever become funny, and it's still not.
Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, so too early to ask if you'll be giving away Arizona Renaissance Festival tickets, huh? Us Mormons love a good Renaissance Festival.
Just a touch early, yeah.
I about guarantee we'll have that.
And we're gonna have to hear
huzzah
about 20 times a day for our troubles.
Wait a minute.
There it is.
Magnificent Mr. Mormon, how long have you been listening to this radio station?
Huzzah!
Average Joe says Mandrich, the Incredible Bulk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was on Sports Illustrated and that was the headline.
Where'd you get this whistling gerbil? I don't know what this is a list of. Is this in that pet? Okay, so he was on the green. Tony Mandrich was the number 2 pick in that year, right behind Troy Aikman. Just F you and the ticking clock. On a day like today, I don't know. We're not doing that. Turn that bleep off.
Okay. It's not the reaction I was expecting.
Just not today, Randy.
F you and the horse you rode in on, pal.
Oh, that's more aggressive than I thought that was going to be.
Hey, just trying to help.
I know. Weso Grande says Tony Mandrich was supposed to be like Orlando Pace, but on crack back in the day. Pull the plug says Boz was a draft bust.
He was too, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And then Bo Jackson ran right through his face. Ended his career essentially right there.
All right, we got to take a break. We come back. I don't know. This, other things. Who knows? The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Let's go! ABC tonight. Country music's biggest night, the CMA Awards.
Let's party, Nashville!
Kicks off with this year's must-see collaboration. Post Malone featuring Chris Stapleton. Live. With electrifying performances by Lainey Wilson, Shabuzi, Ashley McBride, Luke Bryan, plus Thomas Rhett and Teddy Swims. Woo! Luke Bryan, Peyton Manning, and Lainey Wilson host the CMA Awards live tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC, and stream next day on Hulu.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary, underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Not all policies will qualify. Not available in all states.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage? I'm too sick to go to school. Quit hogging the bathroom!
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. Fake pills with fentanyl are the #1 killer of youth in Arizona. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Big George wants to know if it's too early to call Trey Lance a draft bust.
Oh no, it's not too early for that. We figured it out. it's where he was drafted, and I understand like probably the Niners shouldn't have drafted him where they did because he was a developmental project, and the way their team was, it was already a constructed Super Bowl contender. So maybe you don't have time for the project when you draft a guy like that. But regardless of the reasons, maybe it's his fault, maybe it's just not his fault. Either way, dude's not getting it, man.
Don't you feel if you're Trey Lance that teams have traded for you just to get the 49ers playbook?
Not really, because only one team has done it, and it's Dallas, and Dallas has been nowhere close to a Super Bowl. So,
and was that a complicated? Was that a complicated playbook? The 49ers playbook? Is it really?
I mean, it's not that it was. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean,
at the time, the 49ers were Super Bowl contenders like 2 years, 3 years in a row. And when Trey Lance came to Dallas, you had to know that Jerry, he hired some questionable gentlemen, shall we say, and put Trey in a dark room and, flashed pictures in front of him until he started talking about the playbook.
The thing is, Trey Lance has been in Dallas for 1.5 years, and at no point in that time have the Dallas Cowboys threatened to play the 49ers in an NFC title game, which is the only place you'd really need to know that playbook.
Yeah, that's not going to come in handy at all.
And the Cowboys suck again this year, so worse.
Navy Brad says, good afternoon, Blender World. Is it just me, or do a lot of you agree that the Cowboys are tanking the season and have thrown in the towel? I know they're just bad. Yeah. Jerry Jones, for whatever reason, doesn't have enough self-awareness to realize he's the problem. Jerry Jones, is not even thinking about listening to anybody other than Jerry Jones. Hey, how about you put some curtains up there so we don't get blinded? He doesn't believe you. So, and then it turns out they had curtains the entire time. So, no, they have not tanked or thrown in the towel. They're just bad. They are just bad. And Jerry Jones is not ready to acknowledge anything. The people who are trying to figure out what to do now are probably going to be in tank mode for sure are the Jets. I mean, especially now that it's got out that Aaron Rodgers, how do you think he's going to respond now that he knows that Woody Johnson said that he should be benched after week 4 when they lost to the Broncos? How do you think he's going to, how do you think he's going to handle this information? Badly. It's going to be bad. He's not going to be, if you think he was bad before, he's going to be worse.
Maybe.
But the Jets, they look tankable right now for sure.
Yeah, but they're another team that's just bad. Like they were trying to win. They're just not very good at it.
No, I'm just saying at this point, I think they're like, okay, listen, let's just go ahead and we got rid of the GM. We fired the coach 6 weeks ago. Aaron Rodgers continues to stink. Told you we should have benched him, but whatever. So now, what do you got left? 2 losses and what? So now you're thinking,
yeah,
we don't need to win any more games this year.
If they're smart, but I don't know that the Jets have done anything smart this year. Firing Robert Saleh, I thought was a mistake. He's the guy that built the culture of that locker room. If there was anybody who would have a chance of turning that thing around, it would be with him in the building. They have pretty much had the same result without him, but now without the foundation of the guy that put the entire program together. And then you fire the GM early enough in the year that it doesn't do you any good. You can't talk to any other GM candidates. Who does this help? Nothing the Jets are doing make any sense. You trade for Devontae Adams. You had receivers. You didn't have an offensive line. Why would you trade for another receiver? Nothing they've done this year is smart or good. So should they be tanking? Yeah. Will they? I don't know. I can guarantee that they'll do that.
Well, the good news is whether they do it on purpose or not, don't see a whole lot of wins in their future. So mission accomplished, whether you like it or not. Donnie says, Johnny Football. He's pretty big bust.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Where was he drafted?
Cleveland.
No, like when in the draft?
Like
pretty high up.
Yeah.
He was the first quarterback, I think, taken in the draft, wasn't he?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you have to look it up.
Let's see here.
Last Optimist says Aaron Rodgers, Sauce Gardner, many of the other players in the Jets have too big ego to agree to try to tank. Well, that's the point, Last Optimist. They don't even have to try. All the owner and the coach or whoever has to do is just let the season play out the way it already is.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Manziel was taken 22nd in that draft. So he was like near the bottom of the first
Wasn't
round.
he the first quarterback?
No. That would be Blake Bortles of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yeah. We kind of shut him out of our minds. Bust.
Yeah.
Another bust.
I mean, you say bust. Blake Bortles played in an AFC title game against Tom Brady and nearly won it.
Oh, that's right. But then after that, he just...
Yeah, he didn't do anything after that, and he was never great. And actually, he was carried to that game by his defense. But, just notable thing there.
Random texter, Matt Leinert's already been brought up, but you're right. Complete bust. Niner Annapolis says about Trey Lance, he says, what makes it worse is the amount they gave up for him.
Yeah, that they traded up to go get him. And to me, those are always some of the worst picks when you trade up for a guy and now he's costing you not just the pick that he's at, but either future picks in later drafts or future picks in that same draft.
Go ahead.
Oh, just that you could use to fill out a roster. You got to be careful when you make some of those trades.
I just thought of one. Vince Young from Texas.
I don't know about that one. Now, obviously, I have a bias here.
Well, I know you have a bias here, but
Jeff Fisher didn't like him. Like when he played, the guy won football games. Jeff Fisher didn't like him.
But where's he at today?
Well,
what did he do?
He's been out of the league.
He's behind you.
But I don't know. To me, I try to separate the guys that are just not great from the guys who are so bad they set the franchise back years. To me, that's where I put you in bust category. We are now worse for having drafted you. And I don't know that Vince Young is that.
The magnificent Mr. Mormon says, I've been listening long enough to know one thing. Robert Quigley has no chance of winning the election. I don't agree.
I don't think he was ever running for president, though.
I don't agree.
Was he?
His bumper sticker, I'm leaving it on my car.
Our boy Bobby Quiggs.
I believe.
boy.
They're still counting. They're still counting votes.
You don't know.
Seabass says, how about quarterback Achilles Smith from the 99 draft?
Oh,
The
Achilles.
Bengals.
Oh, Achilles.
Third
Yeah.
overall pick. Big bust.
Very big bust. Yeah.
All right, guys, when we come back, let's talk some football, actual football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on.
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free fix finder service can help find the fix for free.
Get in zone.
This whole report for free?
That's right, printed and on your phone for free.
Get in zone.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
With all the school supplies your child will need over the years, it can be easy to overlook the most important one of all, money, which is a good reason to open an AZ 529 education savings plan. Whether you invest $15 or $150 a month, your money grows tax-free. By the time your little one is ready for college, vocational school, or workforce training, they'll have all the savings they need to get the job of their dreams. Visit az529.gov to get started.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Going to talk about nothing but football for the rest of this show. We got a little man talk we'll throw in there, too, but, yep, all NFL for the rest of the show. Well, okay, there's a little bit of something that's not football, but I don't know if this is, well, it's said by a football guy. I'll explain in a second. First thing we should do, we got to clean up the text line, what's left over, because it was brought up again. It's like, okay, well, what's the biggest draft bust? And so we were kind of chatting through that. Seabass says Justin Blackmon, 5th overall pick in 2012 by the Jags.
I thought that guy was going to be the truth. He looked like he was the second coming of like
They
prime
moved
Des
up
Bryant
to draft him.
He looked good, and boy, he was every bit of disappointing.
Free guy. I think that's what you're talking about. I think who was the person who said that? Whoever just texted that got free guys. Like that's the same one. Last Optimist says 49ers. Well, now I got think you will. Of course, why not? 49ers still got a franchise quarterback in that draft. So the bust of Trey Lance hurts, but they still got what they needed out of the draft.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
I mean, accidentally, but you still have to do the homework to say it's worth it to take Brock Purdy here. And they did like him, but they liked him valued, where everybody else had him valued. It still took work and it still took effort to get to the conclusion that we should take a flyer on this guy here because it's about scratching the lottery tickets. And that was an extra one. And that's the one that actually cashed out.
Big George says, you remember Heath Schuler? Keon, 1994?
Yeah.
How about that bust?
He's real bad.
Robert from Surprise.
We're going to talk about it.
We've already talked about Jamarcus Russell. Just the tip. We already talked about Ryan Leaf. He says, oh, he might be an NFL bust, but in real life now, he's a stud. What?
Who?
How is Ryan Leaf a stud?
Oh, just in terms of how he turned his life around as a human being, I guess.
No.
Yeah, like because the things that derailed him as a football player, he sorted out. He did go get mental help. He did get help, with his addiction problems, and now he's seems like a pretty stand-up guy.
I wish I had time for an addiction. I'm just too busy. Random texter says Rick Mirer was a bust and constantly compared to Drew Bledsoe coming out of college. Paxton Lynch, hefty lefty. Yes, Dolly Parton size bust for the Broncos, especially with the guys that were taken after him. No, that's fair.
That's the thing, is because Paxton Lynch was like middle of the first round, if I remember. Like he wasn't a guy that people thought was going to be like this great messiah or anything, but he did look like he was going to be a really good football player. And at no point in his career did that portion ever occur. He was playing football. Well, no, not really.
Lost Toby says, can the Niners trade Kyle Shanahan? They could. They're not gonna. That's not how. I don't think. When's the last time a coach got traded? Do you remember? Because they've done it in the past.
It's happened before. I know Gruden was traded from the then Oakland Raiders to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then he used Tony Dungy's defense and the fact that he built the Raiders to beat the Raiders in a Super Bowl.
Oh no, it's been more recent that Sean Payton. Sean Payton. They had to actually
that's right.
trade
It was
the rights to him.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I knew it happened more recently, but I couldn't think of who. That's the Gruden one is the one that stands out because he won the Super Bowl.
Well, Belichick from the Jets to New England, Gruden, Raiders to Tampa Bay, Herm Edwards, the Jets to Kansas City in 2006.
I
don't even remember that.
I didn't realize that was a trade.
Mike Holmgren from the Packers to the Seahawks in 99.
That was a trade too?
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when
he had money left on the contract. That's why.
Huh.
And then Bill Parcells from the Patriots to the Jets in 1997. Yeah, we hear about these guys like who get fired or quit or whatever but then the team still has a right to them or whatever, and then they end up somewhere else. And sometimes maybe it's not that relevant to the story, though. They had to pay off a couple million of his contract, so technically it's a trade or something. Beer Bob, we all knew going in. Is it a bust when we all knew going in? Mitch Trubisky for the Bears. They traded up for him, and they could have had Patrick Mahomes.
The future Hall of Famer, Mitch Trubisky.
We knew when that happened that it was a huge, dumb mistake.
Yeah, I thought it was a dumb mistake, not because I thought Trubisky would be bad at football, but because, like, just the amount of picks that they traded to move almost no spots to get him, they didn't have to move. He probably would have just been right there. Why did they trade for him? I still don't get it.
Wait a minute. Moist one, I'm not going to say his name, but did you really buy a Toyota from him?
What?
I hope that's a joke. Swazman says, yep, Ryan Leaf was a bust because he was competing with Peyton Manning for the first in the draft. Then all his rants, his jail time, lots of highs, lows, really turned things around, though, lately. And he seems to be a trusted citizen again. Yeah, okay. Robert from Surprise says, did you already mention Josh Rosen? Yes.
We actually started there.
I still say you guys are way off there.
Moist One says, right on the price, my ass. Halfy Lefty. Yeah, thank you. Free Guy says, Mitch Trubisky and Rashaan Salam.
I'm trying to remember Salam. I don't know if I do.
Oh, it's okay, Robert from Surprise. It's okay. He's like, sorry, I started late. You got to punch a clock around here. Halfy Lefty says, is Kyler Murray considered a bust?
No.
For the Oakland A's?
No, I mean.
Same way with Elway and the Yankees.
Not really.
Andrew Luck, Moist One. Shut up. He's not a bust. The Colts killed him. The Colts let him get killed. He's not a bust. Donnie, Ryan Leaf was already talked about over and over. So the duh goes on you. Fighting Wampa says Trey Lance. Yeah, we I can tell who just got off work and who, who's been with us.
Who's been with us the whole time. Yeah.
Slow Mo Zoe says the guy in the Colts with the gambling problem.
Stumped me.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess I'm not the Schwab because I who is that?
Struggling to think of a Colts draft bust. Robert from Surprise says, is this considered football talk? Can we do the championship games for fantasy football at Zips? What are you talking? You mean like hang out? Yeah, we've never thought about doing that.
I think he's asking for the championship games of our fantasy leagues to be played somewhere.
So what you're saying is on that Sunday, we'd all get together while the games are going on. Is that what you're saying? So like all 14 leagues shows up and I don't know. We've never done that before.
That's a thought.
Yeah, we'll think about that, Robert from Surprise. Moist One says Bartles was in the same division as Luck. Look at the success. Big George says Andrew Luck led the Colts to an AFC championship game. So he's definitely not a bust.
I don't think he's a bust at all.
No.
Nobody thinks that.
No way.
If your team gets your quarterback killed and he was showing some promise, I don't think that you get to blame the guy.
No.
That's the reason why, like, when people say RG3 is a bust, like, I don't. The team got that guy killed.
Andrew Luck was not a bust, but they busted him.
Yeah.
Free Guy says Salam was a legend at Colorado and was a bust for the Bears. He went to the Browns and then the CFL. Free Guy says, didn't Luck win a Super Bowl against the Bears? No, that was Peyton.
No. Yeah, Peyton won the Super Bowl.
Which, by the way, you Denver Bronco bastards, this latest commercial with the shows Peyton Manning sitting there. He's got a Colts helmet behind him. I didn't see any Broncos helmets. So suck on that, Bronco fans.
Oh, my God.
Lost Toby says, is Josh Rosen still in the league? No, we've already covered him.
We've covered Josh Rosen.
We all agree.
The team beat him up, and he's not a bust because he was broken.
Slow Mo Zoe says, the guy with the Colts, the gambling problem, Art something or other.
Art Shamsky.
Sure. Art Shamsky, disgraceful. Seabass says there's a defensive end, Steve Emptiman, first overall pick in 92 by the Colts. He was a big bust. Yeah, okay. Cause says, what do you get when you cross the Atlantic with the Titanic? You get about halfway.
Okay.
This is dumb.
All right.
Wow.
Is Bosworth a bust?
Yes. Yes.
If it ain't for being trucked in that famous hit, maybe not.
Maybe we don't remember him as well, but he is a bust. Yeah.
Swozman says whoever drafted Trent Dilfer was a bust. He did win a Super Bowl with the famous Baltimore Ravens defense, though.
Brian Billick was the head coach that really wanted him. But I don't know. Like, Trent Dilfer did exactly what he was asked to do. He was, don't ruin it. This defense is so good. Don't ruin it. And he didn't ruin it. And he won a Super Bowl.
Plus, Toby, Tony Gonzalez was not a bust. He's a Hall of Famer.
What are you talking about?
He says Anthony Gonzalez. Like, I wouldn't know who he's talking about.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think we're done with this now.
Yeah.
So before we move on to all this NFL I've got sitting here, Michael Irving, who used to be on TV, I guess, I don't know how he would know this. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this can be proven, but he says that Mike Tyson could not uppercut Jake Paul because there was a clause in the contract that says he could not, that he wasn't allowed to.
Wow.
Okay.
To me, I feel like if there's a contract where it actually says that, which there will not be, but if there is, there's a whole lot of people who can sue the bleep out of this. There's already people suing Netflix for how bad the broadcast was. That just popped up on the feeds. Like, people are suing over that.
Really?
I mean, you didn't pay $100 to watch this fight. You paid like what, $10, $15 if you didn't already have Netflix. So come on, man. What are you doing? You don't be suing. But so people are suing over that. But then to find out, you know, if you were gambling, if you were betting, somebody placed $1 million bet on this fight. Well, okay. Now the books themselves should be a little bit upset about this if this was actually true. But according to Michael Irvin, he says they had no intentions to scrap it all. He says, I didn't see one patented uppercut by Mike Tyson. And he says, I heard some people talking about that they put it in the contract. He couldn't body and then uppercut. Like, how do you put that into a fight contract? Michael Irvin says a lot of dumb stuff.
He does.
But I was speculating on this, that they had a thing where it's like, okay, you don't embarrass me, I won't embarrass you. And when you watch the fight, I told you early on that first jab where Jake Paul's eyes got big and he's like, wait, what the hell are you doing? It's not going to be on paper, but I'm sure they had a phone call. I'm sure they're like, all right, tell you what.
No, they're friends. Mike
You'll
Tyson,
make 20 million. I'll make 40 million, but here are the rules. Don't get carried away out there.
Mike Tyson's talked about this. He likes Jake Paul. He thinks he's a cool guy.
Somebody puts $20 million in my pocket. I'm beating Randy until he's senseless. I'm not pulling off. I'll go off on him like a spider monkey, and he'd do the same. And I'd still be friends with him. I mean,
absolutely.
After he'd gotten through all the speech therapy that he'd need afterwards.
Yeah.
But man, I don't think I'd get on the phone and be like, all right, Randy, here's the deal. You can punch me in the penis. That's fine. I can take it. But not the ears. I hate when I get hit in the ears.
I don't want those cauliflower ears.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's horrible.
Yes.
Oh, Lost Toby meant a different Anthony Gonzalez. A different guy. He was a wide receiver for the Colts in the first round. I don't even remember him. Listen, I don't remember a lot of the guys. I remember when they drafted Peyton. We stank. You guys got to remember, we stank for a long time. And so they'd draft guys and nothing would change. And I just went about my life. I had other things going on at that time. I was younger. I had a child, I was trying to live my life. So if they drafted a couple of guys for the Colts and that didn't pan out, I'm like, well, nothing new here. Wasn't that big a deal to me. 2968 says, I just tuned in. Why are you punching Randy in the penis, Jeff? No. I'm saying he can punch me in the penis.
Nah.
See, the world of difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight Randy. Well, no, that's not true. For 20 million, we'd fight the hell out of each other.
We would. I think we'd probably fix it though.
There'd be a phone call.
Yeah.
No, you're right. There'd definitely be a phone call.
Absolutely.
Free Guy says, do you guys think the weigh-in slap was a setup? Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how you sell the fight.
Yeah.
Like the one of the things about them is like, are they really going to fight each other? They're friends. Well, Mike Tyson slaps him, and now Jake Paul can sit there and go, oh, now it's personal for real. And obviously Mike Tyson doesn't have to explain himself. He slapped him. It makes your imagination actually think there's something here. There was nothing there. That was a nonsense, nothing burger of a fight. No one should have watched it.
Robert from Surprise says, Mike Tyson walked into the ring looking like he forgot his cane. You're right. He was not moving very well at all. He was shuffling. And here's the other thing that they really missed. They really missed a, you know how he had the interview? He turns around and he didn't have any pants on. Everybody's like, oh my God, his naked ass. Like, man, how many grandpas have done that? You know, God, Grandpa, put your pants on. Sure.
Put your pants on, Grandpa. I
think
hear it all
they
the time.
missed a huge opportunity. He should have walked out to the ring that way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they're like, put on these pants. You can't go in the ring without pants.
Hey, Grandpa, you forgot your shorts. See? I mean, I hear that all the time.
Slow-Mo Zoe says, you pushed Randy off the roof for free. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Fighting Wampa says, if you got cauliflower around your penis, you got something else going on. Hamilton Porter says, also the fake wrestling is trying to set up Logan Paul versus Tyson for WrestleMania. At least you'll know that one's staged.
You should have known the first one was too.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I wouldn't have watched the fight if my wife hadn't wanted to. And my only hope was that maybe something would snap inside Mike Tyson's head and he would go off on Jake Paul. That's it.
He's a nicer version of Mike Tyson than he was before.
Sure.
It's never going to happen.
You know what, though? You start waving the red flag in front of the bull. Sometimes, ding, you know, I hoped because I didn't have anything else to hope for at that moment.
You were hoping for a humorous car accident is what you were hoping for.
Yeah. He's 58 years old. It's not like one of those things where it never fades away. Like, yeah, your killer instinct can actually fade away the longer you are away from that thing. And he's been away from the boxing ring in any serious sense for a really long time.
Just a Tip says NFL talk is about a BS fight. Oh no, we're getting there. We're getting there, Just a Tip. He says the rematch is what they're setting up. Nobody will watch that.
They could try to set it up all they want to. You don't get to run that game twice. The reason why it works, why any rematch works, is because the first fight was actually good.
Yeah.
Swazman says Mike Tyson was famous for the get in low uppercut, knock you out. I know. It's what we were hoping for. Flogging Logger says Patrick Pedestrian. There's a bust. No. Patrick Peterson played pretty good, though, for a while.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson, for much of his career, was really good. It's just when he started to fall off, he fell all the way off, and he kept talking and acting as though he were still playing at his prime, and that just wasn't true.
Hamilton Porter says, this is not meant to be political. Oh, Jesus. He says, but I can't be the only one that thinks it's funny that our new education secretary was in charge of the fake wrestling for a while. Seriously?
Yeah.
What, Vince McMahon?
Not Vince McMahon. That while he was one of his many stints away from WWE, God, she was the CEO for a while.
His wife? Who was it? Seriously?
I don't know the people related to Vince. I mean,
I don't know anything about this, but so seriously, wow.
Let's see here. Linda McMahon.
Oh boy. Moise one says
if Dr. Oz is in charge of health, it's great. It's fun.
If you don't have cauliflower around your penis, then you're not training hard enough.
I don't know what to say about that, except I hate you for the mental image that you are putting out into the world.
All right, we're definitely not talking about that anymore, and we're not talking about draft busts anymore, and we're not talking about Mike Tyson anymore.
Oh, thank goodness.
When we come back, we're talking about NFL football. A little later on, we'll have some man talk, but we need a palate cleanser. We got to talk about the NFL. That's what we're doing. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway.
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free fix finder service can help find the fix for free.
Get in zone.
This whole report for free?
That's right. Printed and on your phone for free.
Get in zone.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Monday night means football on the Fanatic.
Mr. Jackson and the Ravens are in Hollywood to take on the Chargers. Will it be an offensive show for the Baltimore Ravens, or will the Los Angeles Chargers flex their defensive strength? Ravens at Chargers. Monday Night Football live.
Your home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. You guys do your picks here?
Yes.
I did my picks this morning.
I always do my picks the day of.
Wow.
Fair enough. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen next week. Hey, we should find out if
That's good.
I think everybody else is sorted out next week. I think Beat the Book with Dylan Cohen is taking the week off. I know we'll be off on Thursday and Friday because Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And but beyond that, I don't know. Is there anything you guys need for next week? Because I've just figured we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
It sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Well, on Thursday, we got the Steelers and the Browns because that right there tells you that perhaps this planet is some other planet's hell. That's all I can really.
Yeah, when people die and wake up here.
Yeah.
No.
They're like, oh, Steelers and
Was
Browns.
Was I not a good enough person?
Why? Why?
What did I do to deserve this?
Oh. So Sunday we got Sunday morning football at 10:30. Vikings and Bears. Ugh.
Ain't we got fun?
Oh gosh. Do we have any good games? We got Eagles. Eagles at Rams.
I think that's a good game.
I think it's a good game too.
I think that's
the Eagles are going to stomp the Rams.
I think the Eagles are going to win, but I don't know that stomp is what's going to happen there.
I think that the Rams.
Oh, did Aaron Donald come back?
Well, no,
No, but they've been playing really good defense despite that anyway.
Monday got Ravens and Chargers.
Ravens and Chargers, and they're in LA. And after what I saw last week with the Los Angeles Chargers, look, this team's for real. You better watch out for the Chargers. Okay. All right.
Listen, I know
I agree with
Harbaugh
Randy.
Harbaugh is gonna get them there, but they look good against I don't know, that team. I don't know if they're gonna look good against this team.
I don't know. It looked good against other teams too, though.
Yeah, they have. This week isn't.
Wait, what's their record? Because
what's the Pimple kid? Isn't he? What's
the
his name?
Chargers are 7-3.
I am always surprised at that. I always get surprised at their record. You're right. They're
Isn't he
7-3.
isn't he the player of the week? Wasn't he one of the player of the weeks?
Yeah,
for proactive. Yeah.
No,
Proactive player of the week.
Pro football as well.
It's unanimous between Clearasil, Proactive, and OxyClean.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know why. It just, my brain doesn't want. Every year there's some team that does good, but my brain says no, they stink, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why.
Well, I think you're used to what the history has been, especially recent history, and I think a lot of people are that way.
Not a lot of great matchups this weekend.
I think the Ravens Chargers matchup is one to watch.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's probably the most at least record balanced matchup. But let's go down. Anybody think that the Steelers and Browns is a good game?
Hell no,
because the Browns are involved.
Steelers going to roll.
And Panthers?
Well, no, obviously the Panthers.
Vikings and Bears?
No.
Texans and Titans?
Well, it could be. Could be.
Lions and Colts?
Yes, I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
But no, it's not.
Which
I think it's
version
going to
of
be
Anthony
fun.
Richardson do we get?
Do
Do we get last week's version, or do we get the version with the guys just throwing interceptions left and right?
Listen, I've been riding with the Blue Horseshoe all season long. What's your record right now?
5-6.
5-6. There you go.
Yeah.
Anything can happen this time of year.
Yeah, it won't happen on Sunday.
All right.
A balanced matchup between the Patriots and the Dolphins.
Dolphins win.
Still suckage.
I
Tampa
think it's a
Bay
good defensive matchup
is probably going to stomp the Giants.
Yes.
You would think.
Washington's probably going to stomp the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Denver is probably going to take care of business against the Raiders. These are not great matchups.
You would have to think so, but
Green Bay and 49ers, that might be a decent.
That one seems interesting to me. Cardinals Seahawks.
Cardinals Seahawks could be, but
and I think Eagles Rams is going to be an interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't, I'm just going to watch something else.
I mean,
turn the channel.
Yeah, you've got options. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going out on a limb to say that Rams defense looks much improved from the beginning of the season, and they're a better team when they've got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua.
Yep.
All I need is one good watchable game in each one of these time slots. I don't have it Thursday night. I don't think I have it Sunday morning. I'll probably I just watch my game.
It's possible that all of these early games on Sunday are just objectively bad.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah. So
well
honestly, the one with the biggest question mark, because you don't know which Anthony Richardson you're gonna get, probably tune into that one. And then Sunday afternoon, probably watch the Cardinals and Seahawks and have the 49ers and Packers on another screen. And then a lot of buys. We got Atlanta, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Jets, and New Orleans on a buy.
Boy, tell me about it. Buffalo's on a buy. Yeah.
Breaking news, says Big George. I guess this is breaking news. Chris Sale has won the National League Cy Young Award for this season, beating out Zach Wheeler, Paul Skeens, and Zach Gallen.
Wow.
You had two Zachs in there, and you ended up with a Chris?
Yeah.
Well, that is breaking news.
Chris Sale, he could win Comeback Player of the Year, too.
Only if he comes back.
Well, he did.
Really did.
What?
He did come back.
Well, then, okay, give it to him. Yeah. Why are you waiting? Give it to him. T. Lisher says, good thing I've got some recordings to watch this week because I ain't watching Rapesburger versus Cleveland. Just a Tip says, what's less interesting? Tyson Paul rematch or Cowboys and Giants on Thanksgiving Day? Tyson Paul rematch.
Mhm.
And that here's the thing: Jeffrey O'Brien's theory of craptivity, equal assured craptivity. That is Cowboys and Giants. Yeah, it'll probably be a good game because they both suck so bad. Playing each other, it'll look like a real game.
If you like interceptions, that'll be a great game.
Yeah, they can throw it back and forth to each other. I don't care.
You take the ball. No,
It'll be
you
on
take
in the background while we're eating the food and not giving a damn about what's happening.
that game will be watching me.
My wife says, "Hey, can you come peel these potatoes?" I'll be like, "Yeah." I won't be like I usually do, which is, she won't hear that noise because that's the noise we make. Hey, can you just come and help do anything? That's the noise. We don't make it on purpose. It just kind of comes out of us. Just we have no control. Then we get up and go in there. Can I at least stand here because the game's there? Not going to care. Hey, will you come peel the potatoes? Yep. Boing. I'll be right there. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. At least for that game. Last Optimist says, I'm going to take personal enjoyment watching the Steelers beat the Brown out of the Browns. They have the least ethical owner in the football. Yep. All right.
No, at least
I would agree.
One of a handful because the other teams tried to sign Watson too.
2968. Why do you not have a name yet? Why don't you have a name yet, 2968? Anyways, will you be airing the Black Friday game between the Chiefs and the Raiders? I don't blame you if you don't. Yeah, we will. We absolutely will. Broadcast starts at 12:30 here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wow.
Hefty Lefty says, hey, Panthers are on a 2-game win streak. Chiefs have lost 1 in a row.
That ends this weekend.
Is that how they're going to promote this thing? If the Panthers beat the Chiefs, then you can't fire Doug Peterson. You just can't. And believe me, he's getting fired. Lost Toby says it's the first time they've been 7-3 in a long time. I know, Chargers. Dodger Danny says the contract between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul stipulated that Mike Tyson could not do uppercuts. Mike Tyson could not really box the way he wanted to, and that's not really boxing. By the way, this is just allegedly, Dodger Danny. We don't have this as a fact. Nobody has a copy of that contract. But we agree with you. Nobody needs to see another fake fight. Moist One says, he says, that's the noise I make after, no, can't read what he says. Robert from Surprise says, Raiders versus Chiefs on Black Friday. I guess they were trying to boost the economy. Nobody's watching that game. We'll all be out shopping. Devil Hawk says, that's the same sigh I make whenever my wife asks if I want to have sex.
Well, that's unfortunate for you.
Yeah. Beer Bob
More
says,
for her,
isn't
it seems like, but
isn't Doug Peterson a coach of the Jaguars, not the Panthers? That's how bad he is. No, I'm
he's
wait, who's the coach of the Panthers?
Oh,
does it matter?
Is it Dave Canales?
Okay, that's right. I get the Jaguars and the Panthers confused because they're both just equally bad. Who is the worst team right now, you think? Probably not even by record, though, right?
Probably Jacksonville.
So it is Jacksonville. So the Jacksonville is past the Panthers.
I don't know. I don't know about the records, but without Trevor Lawrence,
if Jacksonville and Dallas were to play,
Jacksonville and Dallas,
who wins?
Dallas.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No Trevor Lawrence for Jacksonville, and Jacksonville was bad before Trevor Lawrence got hurt. They're worse now.
Yeah. Just the Tip says if Panthers beat the Chiefs, look out for frogs falling from the sky. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, this is not going to occur this week, but last week, Chiefs and Bills, that game by itself drew 31.2 million viewers. See, that's what a good matchup brings you. Big ratings. 31.2 million viewers. Now, Monday Night Football had Texans Cowboys. 17 million viewers. Well, that is just primetime football. I am surprised it was 17. I'm actually surprised the Texans Cowboys would be that high. That has to be fantasy football. That's the only reason to care about Texans Cowboys, right? Two backup quarterbacks against each other.
CJ Stroud was hurt.
Oh, no. I was thinking somebody else.
Yeah, I was like, when you said two backups, I was like, wait, who are you talking about?
Right?
Hey, listen, I'm barely here. Shut up.
We noticed.
I know it was in the hospital, but I didn't hear about CJ Stroud.
He's a backup quarterback now.
Wow.
Oh, he's the starter and the backup.
Josh Rosen got hurt, and now
yeah.
CJ Stroud has taken over Josh Rosen's job.
But regardless, Texans Cowboys, can you believe it got 17 million viewers?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can. Football is huge in Texas.
Those are two Texas teams playing each other. One team really hates the other
There's
team.
another reason.
And a lot of people like watching the Cowboys get
No.
pummeled. That's why I was watching.
It was on ABC also for free. They knew they had to do that to pump up the numbers. So they put it on ABC and ESPN.
Well, I think they usually do that.
Robert from Surprise, not always. Robert from Surprise says 31 million viewers. That's getting close to the viewership of the Daily Blender. I know.
Yeah,
I
they're
know.
closing in on us.
I ain't worried. Right now, I have a thing that says 41. So, might be total. I don't know. Devil Hawk says, so that's what happened to Josh Rosen. Yeah, I'm not making this up. Anyway, so ratings and stuff for Christmas. Well, Nielsen, they did not let Nielsen check Netflix's numbers. So, yeah, I think there's a reason for that. They're like, we had 180 million people watch. Oh, yeah. Can we see that? No. Okay. Why? Trust us. Okay.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro. That's
well, now Nielsen is going to measure the Christmas audience, the NFL games. So they were like, yeah, we'll get those numbers for you. So the numbers for the Chiefs and Steelers and Ravens and Steelers, I can't remember who's all playing. I feel like the Steelers are playing like everybody. So yeah, here's the thing. So Netflix, well, why didn't you do the fight too? Nobody was, listen, I'm sure it was a lot, like in a dotted line because you kept freezing up. But I'm sure it was a lot of people.
Maybe that's why. Maybe just the way that the fight was streamed and people weren't able to necessarily continuously watch it. I don't think they wanted that out there.
Latina Leprechaun says, you guys have 41 million viewers on YouTube? I'm like, well, no, see, it's Canadian numbers. So there's a difference really on that. Yeah, don't bother looking. 888-368-1580. And like Netflix, no, we're not, we don't deal with Nielsen. Not dealing with Nielsen. By the way, I don't know how Nielsen does it for TV. Do they get like actual numbers? Like they actually can measure how many people are actually legitimately listening? Because here's the thing, radio wise, it's a bad system. We got about 4.5 million people in this population that can hear this radio station. And they give out these little meters to, I don't know, maybe 1,800 people. How is that mathematically accurate? Because, if like a handful of our listeners get those, suddenly we're big in the ratings. And, and then if nobody gets those things, oh, we're horrible. But it's same amount of people listening. So it's just bad math. So for radio, that whole ratings thing is bad math. And we're not paying to be a part of it. So they won't even count our numbers. Oh, that sounds legit. Anyway, so when it comes to TV, I am curious. Do they legitimately count each and every person that's on the Netflix? Do they count everybody whose TV is on? I mean, I don't know how it works for TV. I only know how it works for radio badly. So I don't know. Is it also a sham when it comes to TV?
That's a great question.
We should look that up. Anyway, right now we got to take a break. When we come back, let's talk about the Cardinals and a bunch of other football stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28, in-store only.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display. Plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more. All at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
The GCU men's basketball squad is coming off their winningest season in 35 years, their third trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years, and their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Returning 4 of their 5 starters in Ray Harrison, Colin Moore, Duke Brennan, and reigning WAC Player of the Year, Tyon Grant Foster, the Lopes look to defend their WAC titles and make a run to the Sweet 16. With a non-conference slate, including Stanford, Georgia, and crosstown rival Arizona State, you won't want to miss a moment of the action. So join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on the home of the Lopes, 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Kyle G says, here's a long answer, Jeffrey. How to get TV gets the ratings. Short answer is that it's less a scam than radio, but more of an educated guess. Well, I don't like the idea that the word guess would be in there. But let me just tell you something. If I owned a TV station and I felt like a game was boring, I'd be like, I'd just come on, I'd pop up on the screen. Hey guys, what do you say? Let's change the channel. We're gonna
change the channel.
We're changing the channel in the channel. Let's tune into. We might tune into a different channel down the dial. Stay here. We're gonna tune into this other channel till something good happens. What do you say?
Hey guys, we're gonna leave our channel and move over to NBC to watch that game.
Oh, we've done that. We remember. Did I do that with you, or was that somewhere else where we were actually tuning into other radio stations, listening to their, it's like, let's just see what they got going on over here. That might have been at a different station.
Oh, man.
We actually did that. And I was told later we could get in a lot of trouble for that. Don't care. Hey, is it my imagination or is there a Grand Canyon game tonight and on Friday night?
There is. There's 2 games this week.
We might need to make a phone call. Will that be done by 9:30 p.m. for the AIA wrap-up show?
7:00 is game time, I believe.
What time are them Grand Canyon games usually over?
Like 9:30-ish.
Oh, no, this should be fine then.
Yeah.
Somebody probably should let the AIA guys know. You'd be on standby.
I will never leave the building, but it'll be great.
You like money. Here's some money.
I like not starving. I mean, so I'll be here.
That seems counterintuitive. 888-368-1580.
I've noticed.
Swazman says, should I request my pet sitting clients for Thanksgiving to have Netflix so I can watch the Friday game with the pups? I'll consider it my tip. The game's that good? Are they tip worthy? Wait, there's only one game on Friday. Wait,
Black Friday's one game.
Yeah.
I think.
That's just one game. The one game is Vegas and the
Chieftains.
Chiefs. Well, that's a good rivalry game, though. So,
and yeah, like the Raiders usually play the Chiefs close. Just
I don't know about this year.
Well, I mean, they used to.
They'll hold them close, Tiny Dancer.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
think they're gonna.
they've already played this year, and that game was close.
This year?
That was earlier.
I mean, the Chiefs weren't really taking it serious. Big George says, Jeffrey, as your legal
27 to
counsel.
20. It was a close game.
Really?
Yes.
I missed that one. I can't remember things that happened this season, and people want me to remember things that happened to my Colts 30 years ago. Shut up. Big George says, Jeffrey, as your legal counsel, I advise against rebroadcasting and retransmitting other television stations' football games. NFL and those networks would not be happy. Well, I didn't say that. I'm saying if I owned a TV station and I had the NFL on there and it sucked, I'd be like, just tune over like Home Shopping Network. I don't know. I don't know what I would change my station to, but I'd change it to something else.
Hey, it's Jen hour on the.
I grabbed some intern, thrust him in front of the news desk. Here, talk about that story you were telling me the other day. Like my friend Anne Marie, she was like this telling me this the other day. And I'll poke my head in. This is what we're watching until the game gets better. And I can't believe what she said to me. I can't believe it. We're taking calls.
Take calls.
This is Anne Marie. Why are you talking about me on the TV? Where's the game? I won't even care. Just a Tip says, I've been a Kyler fan from day one. Cardinals have finally put a team around him that matches how good he is. Yeah, okay. Is that true? I feel like the team could be a little better.
I still think the team could use some work, but
yeah.
I mean, they could use some work, but they have a running game now. They have an offensive line now that works with Kyler. They work as a team unit. They've got receivers. You know, they got a couple of guys that Kyler can throw the ball up and they'll go get it. I mean, he's running the football well. He's healthy. You know, I mean, what can I say? The Cardinals finally are healthy, and they actually have some good players on the team. And Monty Osenfort needs to continue with his trend.
You're going to be missing your linebacker for a while. Marcus Bailey got suspended 6 games. Drugs. Performance enhancing.
Well, I mean, there's that.
Drugs.
I don't know why these guys, these professional athletes, don't learn the lesson. Why they think that they're somehow going to get away with it.
Go ahead.
That is the most frustrating. That, besides standing and taking a called third strike as a Major League Baseball player, those are the two biggest pet peeves I have as, in watching professional athletes. Why are you out there doing this, taking the chance, hurting the team now? Now you're hurting the team because of your selfishness.
Drugs. Cardinal Art says, great show, guys. Smoking whole wings with a slab of St. Louis style ribs. Any side dish suggestions, Sir Pitmaster Randy? Also, the man needs a drink. Get that man a drink.
Well, I mean, I'll be glad to get him a drink. And what about smoked mac and cheese? It's just some pasta, and you get about 5 different cheeses in there, and then you put that in the smoker and smoke it along. Yes.
So you make the mac and cheese on the stove. Then you just stick the bowl in
Well,
the
you-
smoker.
Yeah, you have the whole bowl, and you get the cheese, and you
got to
ground
stir it.
grate it up, and then you put it on the smoker. Yeah.
But if
Big
it's in the
Dutch-
bowl, though, then
No, it's a big Dutch oven. You got to put it in like a big Dutch oven.
I promised
So-
my wife I would never do that.
Mm-hmm. I was just trying to, help the man. And then at the end, when it's done, after you've stirred it up and it's all integrated together, all those 5 cheeses, maybe you got cheddar in there, maybe you got some mozzarella in there, maybe you got some American cheese in there, maybe, I don't know, your choice, whatever cheeses you like. Once it's all done and it's got that nice smoky flavor to it, then what you do is you take some saltine crackers and you put those over the top, and you let them sit in there for about a half hour longer, so those saltine crackers get all kind of crispy. And you throw a couple of pads of butter over the top of that. Oh my God! That first couple of bites there, and you're the cheeses and the butter and the saltine. Oh my God, that's a side dish right there, my friend. That is a side dish.
There you go, Cardinal Art. Berg says, "What a time to tune in. Afternoon, guys. What was that call about?" Oh, there's no call. We're just talking. We're talking something you can smoke in the smoker. Mac and cheese. Never even thought of that. That's a great idea, Randy.
Yeah.
Just the tip says mac and cheese in my cast iron pan, smoking right next to the ribs.
Yes.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kyle G
Oh, yeah.
says local Fox played paid advertising instead of the Packers Bears this Sunday. It was infuriating. Also, do they not want money? I don't think it was their choice. There's probably some reason they didn't air that. I mean, they're not required to air the game you want to see. They air the games that they get to, and they are assigned to, and they are contracted to. So don't blame them. I mean, you can blame for you can blame them for Kerry Lake, but you can't blame them for. Swazman says, Randy,
yes,
that kind of dish would not be served at the Heart Hospital, but it sounds super good in the smoker.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
I don't think they're grilling at the Heart Hospital.
No.
Like they're like, well, we put some really nice celery on the grill. Just shut it down. Shut it
Don't
down.
even think that. Yeah, just don't.
Shut it
Don't
down.
even. Just stop.
Last Optimist says TV ratings, they're a sham. That's why broadcasters want to move to 100% streaming so they can cut out Nielsen and share their streaming numbers directly to advertisers. Yeah. But then you can't trust the numbers unless there's somebody who's watching it. And I don't mind letting a company like Nielsen handle counting other people's numbers to make sure they're legit. But the way they measure other things outside of that, not buying it. Hefty Lefty says Pornhub keeps pretty accurate viewer data. Maybe Nielsen should ask them. Just a tip. Fish Tank says one of the most infamous books in my line of work is called How to Lie with Statistics. And it sounds like a lot of these streaming services have read that book. Sure they have. Sure they have. So Mozo, why do you keep sending me pictures? I can't always open them and stuff. So I'm sorry. I don't know. And I don't know if I want to open up something that says large naked statue resembling Donald Trump propped up in Central Phoenix. Oh, Jesus. So, of course, that picture opened right up.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's fun. Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, that was my nickname in high school. Smoked mac and cheese. It's because I was always in a pastative mood. That's a 5-minute penalty. We're going to go ahead and bench you for. We don't want to hear from you until the next hour.
Yeah.
Free Guy says cooking is too much effort with the prep and the cleanup and the dishes. I'd rather just eat a grilled cheese sandwich standing over the kitchen sink. It's a very sad existence you have.
That is sad. Have you ever tried to make a grilled ham and cheese on the smoker?
Jesus, everything is in the smoker with you?
Oh my God. It takes everything to the next level.
I just want the level where I get to eat the sandwich.
Oh,
so
smoked mac and cheese in the smoker. Oh my God.
So Kyler Murray, see, can I just tell you how slow a day it is today? Normally, it doesn't even care. This show is unaffected by slow sports days, but some days you're just like, ESPN put out a story. Kyler Murray goes unrecognized in exchange with pizza customer. I thought, is this an Onion article? No, this is a real story. And it's a transcript of the conversation he had with a guy who didn't recognize him.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure there's a lot of people who have never recognized Kyler Murray in person.
He was in New York City.
He's in no commercials.
He had a beanie on. He was eating a slice of pizza.
But nobody's going to recognize him out and about that doesn't care about the Arizona Cardinals.
There you go. And he was talking to this guy from Sweden.
Okay. And this is a story. This is a full story right here from ESPN.
Yep.
That's how slow it is today in the world of sports, I guess. I mean, I could read you the transcript, but we're out of time. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, Medi-Share members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. And Medi-Share is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 30th. So call now and you'll save even more. Here's the number: 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Head coach Bobby Hurley and Sun Devil men's basketball are ready to join the Big 12 Conference. This season, the Sun Devils host conference foes Baylor, Iowa State, Arizona, TCU, and Houston, all at Desert Financial Arena.
And another steal ahead to Miller. And Miller reverses it up and in. And he's fouled. Holy moly.
Join the action and get your Sun Devil men's basketball tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And all right, we're going to talk some NFL football here. It's kind of a weird day, kind of a
It is
slow
a weird
day,
day.
kind
Yeah.
of a clunky day.
It's not really slow. I mean, I think it's gone very speedily.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that at least. Hey, listen. My brain might not be right today, but if it's moving along, and then okay. Hopefully, people are enjoying the weirdness. But
Right.
I don't know if I want this weirdness. 9 or 1680. He says, "Did you guys see the video of marathon runner who asked the camera guy not to show her behind because she just crapped her pants?" No.
See, that's a thing.
Don't want to see that video.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like I want to watch it
Hmm.
because I'm sure that it goes with him showing her having crapped her pants.
I knew somebody that ran the Phoenix the rock and roll marathon.
Oh yeah.
And what happens is these guys at the starting line, these runners, they get at the starting line, they got these articles of clothing on, and all of a sudden they start running, and all along the course there, they're 26.3 miles, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
These people start shedding clothing, jacket
Sexy.
or well, no, not in that way.
Oh.
And maybe they have jog pants on. They got some shorts underneath it. When they get hot, they just they get out of those clothes and they keep running, and they just drop them where they're at. And all of those clothes go to charity, go to the homeless shelters around the valley, stuff like that.
They just drop them as they go.
They drop them as they go. But
they just put them in a bin. Why? That seems
because they're running the race. So they're going, and they got like a light little jacket on or something. They just take that off and just drop it and keep going.
That just seems like a weird way to give something to charity.
These guys are they don't care. They're worried about is their next time, whatever their time is going to be.
See, here I'd start running the marathon, drop all my clothes 5 feet off the starting line, and then I just catch a cab. Just catch a cab
bare naked. Well, there have been a few people that do that. Catch the cab.
I don't think I could ever run bare naked.
But anyway, the point I was trying to make is these guys won't stop and go to the bathroom either. They will void themselves along the route.
It's not worth it. And that's why I'll never stand there and cheer.
They void themselves. Yes, along the route.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, I have to admit, I once did the MS 150. It's 150 miles from Phoenix to Parker Dam on the Colorado River. I accidentally got a little loose on my bike going across the desert. What did you eat? No, I don't want to know. The Jet says, I ran the Santa Hustle 5K last year. I didn't crap my pants.
Well, that's 5K. Come on, that's what is it? 3 miles?
That's child's play.
We're talking about guys that run long distance.
Kyler Murray getting unrecognized in exchange with a pizza customer is news today.
Well,
I still can't get over this.
I
mean, the story, I went through to see if there was anything in the story that mattered. There's nothing in the story that matters.
No, it's the guy just has small talk with Kyler Murray, doesn't?
Well, all talk with Kyler Murray is small talk. Anyway, so here's the they talk about that he's there to see UFC 309 at Madison Square Garden. So I guess he was in town for that. And because it's a bye week, Kyler Murray could just do whatever the hell he wants, right? So he's like, hey, I'm going to get me some pizza. And so he was there with his manager and a social media person. And they're like, hey, let's go get some pizza. So they go into a pizza place and they get some slices. And they're sitting there eating it. And they're talking to this other guy. And so he's like, hey, what do you think of the pizza, bro? And the stranger is like, oh, it's not bad. He's like, hey, what's your name? Surya. What's your name? Kyler. Cool. They were both like, cool. And I think Kyler Murray like fishing? Like he's like, it's really me, because he just looks like a little kid. You know, he just looks like any other, kid going to get some pizza. And he was like, well, let me just tell you something right now. The bread ain't breading. Yeah. This is a little too saucy. The bread ain't breading. And he's like, so the guy was like looking at him like, You guys go around testing pizza? He's like, nah, just enjoying New York. That's the last line in the damn story. There's nothing to this story.
No, there's really not.
That's what Wednesdays are sometimes.
Wow. Wow.
You know what's worse? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, Kyler's not like you. I mean, if you went to New York,
that recognizable.
If you went to New York, it'd be a crowd around you all the time.
That's just because it's crowded there all the time anyway.
Well, people know who Jeffrey O'Brien is.
Nobody cares or knows who I am.
All of a sudden, there would be a sudden burst of, people almost.
Most the people
like
in
those,
this country world do not know who I am.
And you're walking along and you can't hardly, and you got to have security.
Half the
clearing your
people
way
in
for
this
you.
house don't know who I am.
I
am
believe that for a second.
unremarkable.
Don't believe that for a second.
But Kyler Murray is not like internationally known. He's not in big commercials. He's not. Only thing I've ever seen him in is standing on a helmet in the Nissan Heisman commercial. Yeah, he's not done anything national. So
I think he likes
how
it
is
that
it
way.
It's not a big deal that he doesn't get recognized.
Yeah. And Kyler notoriously does not like people. So I don't think it bothered him that he wasn't recognized. Clearly. Because they just had like an average conversation.
Yeah.
An insanely average conversation.
But who wrote the story and thought, we got to post this? We got to get this. This is news. That just shows you what Wednesday is. That's what this happened on Saturday, and they posted it up today. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Wednesdays, sometimes just a dead spot in life. Well, this is interesting, though. We can talk about this. The semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So here's who it's down to: Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs, Earl Thomas, Adam Vinatieri. Okay, those are the first year guys. Then there's a bunch of other people. There's still like 20 players. So they got it down to 25. So here's the other guys: Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Anquan Bolden, Jerry Evans, Antonio Gates, James Harrison, Rodney Harrison, Torrey Holt, Robus Mathis, Steve Smith, Fred Taylor, Hines Ward, Ricky Waters, Reggie Wayne, Richmond Webb, Vince Wolfork, Steve Wazinski, Darren Woodson, and Marshall Yanda.
I don't envy the person that has to select
That's tough.
the group from that group of people.
A lot of Colts in there. A lot of Colts in there.
There's
Shows you how long it's been since the Colts have been really good.
Well, Wolfork's going to make it, right? I mean, how many Super Bowl rings does he have?
Not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that it'll be him.
Woodson's going to make it.
You'd have to think.
All right. Well, so if you go through this list and say has to make it, you're going to end up with like 10, 15 guys.
Well, it has to make it right now. I mean, I think they all are going to make it eventually. Just too many.
Eli Manning is going.
I don't know
to
how
make
they determine the right now.
I don't know if he's going to make it on the first ballot.
I don't think so either. I don't think Eli is a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Okay, so is there one other than Adam Vinatieri? I think might be Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly, Terrell Suggs, Earl Thomas.
Well, Terrell Suggs might be a first ballot guy.
Yeah, maybe.
You guys don't think Adam Vinatieri is? I mean, I know he's a kicker,
yeah,
so that might set him back.
I think that might work against him. And I also think that I was just looking at him.
Vinatieri should make it.
Kuechly's career was shorter, and I think that might work against Kuechly.
Well, it's because he got his brain scrambled.
Yeah. But I mean, he was out there on the field.
He went from being the baddest man on the planet to a guy weeping as they carted him off the field. That was a vicious hit.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I was watching that
and when
game.
you're the defensive player, that's brutal, But but I think Kuechly gets in eventually because the guy's just too good not to. But I do think the length of his career probably works against him here on this particular list of guys.
So who else in that list do you think? Okay, that guy's got to go now. I mean, I don't know. All of them need to go. So it's like, how do you decide who goes now? 25 guys.
How many ballots has Wilfork been on?
I don't have a number.
This is not his first time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would imagine he's going to go this time. He's got to go. And Woodson, he's got to go this time. Vinatieri, maybe. Who are some other guys? Suggs, maybe. Who are some other guys? Jeff, come.
Well, I just read all of them. Reggie Wayne, I think. I mean, he's got to.
Yeah, he's got to go.
Rodney Harrison.
He's got to go.
Rodney's going to get in just because of the TV connect. You notice the guys who are on TV always seem to kind of get in there quicker.
Well, yeah, you're in voters' minds more.
Not
easily.
even just being in voters' minds. I think they just do that so you'll talk about it. You know?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm skeptical.
But I just think that it's easier to remember you if you're on TV than, man, what's that guy even up to right now? Like, I think that just, on that. Maybe there is some of that too, but he's a football player. He's going to talk about the Hall of Fame regardless.
Rodney Harrison came into the radio station when I was in Palm Springs. He needed to borrow our equipment for something. And so he came in, and a couple of things I noticed about him. He's a talker. Oh, he'll talk to anybody. He didn't know me. We stood there standing there talking for a long time. And I was kind of like, yeah, buddy, I got to go. I got to go. Rodney Harrison. I actually was like, yeah, doing that body language where you're kind of like
time to leave,
trying to walk away, but you're like, I can't because
good conversation. Bro. Yeah. So
I
anyway,
love the guy though, I'm like, you want to be on the show? You can be on the show, but I gotta go. But and also he's not that big.
Yeah, defensive backs usually aren't.
I'm just saying.
Defensive backs are usually like 5'10", sometimes shorter.
Yeah, he was shorter. And I don't know what they've listed his height. Are you kidding me? He was not 6'1". This dude was 5'9".
unless they measured his height in cleats. In which
he's
case,
a couple years younger than me, so if we both shrank a bit together, he was still substantially shorter than me. So wow.
But yeah, no, defensive backs are a guy who is 5'8" as a defensive back is not uncommon. That happens all the time.
When I was at my unshrank height before I got older and started to shrink, I was 5'11" and 3/4. I was measured. I swear to God, and then I have lost a couple of inches because there's a degenerative disc disease in my family where my spine compressed. So I've lost a few inches of height. That Rodney Harrison he must have had the same one because I can't picture him ever having been 6'1". And after I stood there talking to him for a good long time and feeling like, ooh, he's a little guy.
Because I wonder if that's a barefoot measurement as well. Because, sometimes a team will measure you shoes on. Sometimes a team will measure you shoes off. And cleats will give you enough that,
I wasn't measured in cleats, but I bet you might be right. Maybe he was. I don't know. I thought they measure you at the combine. Are you wearing cleats at the combine?
I don't know.
Moisland, I said disc, degenerative disc. Jeez.
Oh my God.
You knew that was going to happen.
Jeez. I shouldn't have to explain that.
Oh boy.
The other part of me has not shrank at all. Swazman says, Jeffrey, when it comes to voting on great players, you just place the vote count them and announce the winners. Popular players usually get in quicker.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's a thing with linemen struggling to get in because they don't put up the mind-popping numbers that you need to stand out in people's minds. Like Marshall Yanda's on this list, and he's not getting nearly as much recognition as he deserves to be getting.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't know who's going to get in and who's not, but you're right. I don't think they can get it wrong. Everybody who could get in off this list.
Unless Eli's a first ballot guy, that's the only quote unquote wrong thing you could do.
Well, Eli's got he's got a habit of beating Tom Brady in the damn Super Bowl.
That's all he's got going for him.
That's all he's got going for him.
That's it. That and he's Peyton's brother. I feel like they need to put him in just so Peyton will get off his back.
Because I mean,
Peyton coming into Thanksgiving wearing the gold jacket. Where's yours, Eli?
Oh, that's right. You were perfectly 500 as a quarterback. 117 and 117 is how Eli Manning retired. And quite frankly, that sounds like his career. That's his.
We know
whole-
you're bitter towards the New York Giants.
Sure, but like genuinely, when was the last time that you saw we were like fighting for a guy who was perfectly 500 at quarterback to get into the Hall of Fame?
I'm not saying he even should be there. I could argue right along with you that he shouldn't.
It's not a Giants thing. That's the guy.
I just feel like he needs to have a gold jacket so his brother will shut the hell up.
I don't think that's a good reason for somebody to get into the Hall of Fame.
Swazman says, is it just me or does Eli Manning seem like the perfect host for Sesame Street? Kids would love him by the way he does, though, deserve to get in the Hall of Fame for beating Brady and Belichick twice. Yeah.
With the help of one of the great defenses of all time. But sure, yeah. We're just going to pretend like the defense.
Keon doesn't sound bitter at all.
It's no, because I was rooting for him too. I didn't want those Patriots to win anything. But like Michael Strahan and that defense carried the 8-8 Giants to the Super Bowl. And then we had the David Tyree catch, which is one of the great plays in Super Bowl history. And we just forgot that like Eli's entire career is just, I win a game, I lose a game. I win a game, I lose a game.
Well, Dodger Danny says some of those losses are not his fault, though. He's got numbers better than some of the Hall of Famers out there, and he's got more Super Bowls than some of them in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Eli doesn't get credit when his defense does good, but his fault when the defense does bad.
No, he's getting credit when the defense is good. That's why he's even a finalist on this list.
Well, but you got to score points to win, though.
They score, yeah. And the defense held the Patriots to 13 of them in that Super Bowl.
Right, but you got to score points,
okay.
though.
That's correct. But I'm saying let's not sit there and act like Eli won the Super Bowl over Brady and Belichick, which is how that narrative always gets played, and not he was game managing a great defense.
It's more just because we know it hurts Brady and Belichick.
Yeah,
and Peyton a little bit.
Which is why I didn't say he shouldn't get in.
Yeah.
He's just not a first ballot guy.
How come you don't want him in the Hall of Fame, Keon?
Yeah.
He's just not a first ballot guy.
Killer Rabbit says, Peyton Manning, my favorite. He went first time. Raven Kid
obviously.
says, Eli should get a couple of points knocked down for how he moped and cried his way out of San Diego. What a baby. He was carried by all the stars around him. Swazman says, Keon, do I need to bring up the Trent Dilfer argument again? A lot of quarterbacks rode defenses.
So should we put him in the Super
just
Bowl?
Like Jim McMahon with
no.
the Bears.
Should we put him in the Super Bowl too? Or in the Hall of Fame too?
Is Jim McMahon in the Hall of Fame?
No. That your
So,
argument actually defeats you because
Whoa,
I love those guys are Super Bowl.
Yelling at me. I'm
talking about the person who texted.
Oh,
That's
Swazman.
obviously like okay.
Wow.
Your Swazman, your own argument defeats you because yes, those guys rode great defenses and were surrounded by talent to win Super Bowls. Neither of them are in the Hall of Fame.
Free Guy says Harrison, Wayne, and Woodson should get right in.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Randy's Chuckle says, welcome to the world of AI reporting full of errors and nobody cares. Dude, AI could never have written that story. That's how bad it was. I mean, AI is bad, but this story was literally somebody just writing down the conversation Kyler Murray had with somebody at a pizza place. Who gives a damn? Moist One says, David Tyree, Mario Manningham, Hakeem Nicks. Who are his targets?
Those guys. I'm sorry, did David Tyree not make the catch? Did Eli run over there and help him with that too? Or was that he pinned a football on his helmet and that caused them to win the Super Bowl? No, Eli doesn't get credit for all of that. Hakeem Nicks was also a really good football player. We're not going to act like he wasn't good.
Hamilton Porter's like, man, have you seen the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame list? I remember them all, and now I feel really old. Here's the thing, what makes you feel old. Can I tell you what makes me feel old? Is when you're walking through the store and all the music I like is now in the $2 mix cassette mix thing, and then what makes me feel old is when I go in the store and there's no longer a cassette thing anymore because nobody plays them. Yeah, that would make me feel old. When your music ends up in the bargain bin, that's when you're old. And now I feel old for having said that because I realize that they don't even do that anymore. That's how old it is. That was shattering for everyone listening. You know how you're really, really old? I'm in the store and I'm like, damn, they're playing some good music on the speakers up there.
Oh no!
All right, man. All right.
And the song was when I was in high school.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No. All right, listen. We got to let Keon's blood pressure come down. And when we come back, I'll have a little man talk for you. Maybe some more football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Brought to you by G-Bank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
NFL Thursday Night Football Week 12 starts with the Pittsburgh Steelers facing the Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh has won 5 straight, 4 in a row with Russell Wilson at quarterback. They're now 8-2 and on top of the division. The Browns at 2-8. They had to make a quarterback switch to Jameis Winston after losing Deshaun Watson for the season. The Steelers are a 4-point road favorite, -115 against the spread. The Browns getting the 4 points at -105. On the money line, Pittsburgh -200. Cleveland is +170. The over-under of 36.5. As far as NFL futures, the Steelers -160 to win the AFC North. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. And Cyber Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can help find the fix for free.
This whole report for free?
That's right. Printed and on your phone for free.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Thursday Night Football is live on The Fanatic.
Pittsburgh heads to the capital of rock and roll for a Thursday night showdown with the Browns. Will the Browns double down on upsets this season, having already taken down the Ravens? Or will that tough, stubborn Pittsburgh defense be too much? Steelers at Browns, 5:30 Thursday.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and 1580thefanatic.com.
Good time. Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So for anybody watching on YouTube, that's what the football games is going to look like on Netflix.
Oh. I thought you were trying to genuinely show us something. I was like,
No.
I can't see what you're It's so blurry.
That's a live shot right there.
Okay.
That's
a Netflix live
NFL
shot.
on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah. That a little thinky wheel and everything. 888-368-1580. So, all right. Let me finish up what's on the text line, and we'll do a little man talk real fast. Hamilton Porter says, no, seriously, look at the Major League Baseball list. Didn't realize all those guys retired long enough ago to be eligible for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at it, and this year CC Sabathia is on it. Dustin Pedroia is. I remember watching Dustin Pedroia play at ASU. Brian McCann, Russell Martin, Ian Kinsler. I remember watching him play at ASU. Adam Jones, Felix Hernandez, Curtis Granderson. Those are some of the guys. Ichiro Suzuki, Troy Tulowitzki. I remember when his team, the Dirtbags, won the College World Series.
Listen, time flies. I mean, Raven Kidd was 13 when he started listening to this show. Now he's got a wife and kids and a mortgage.
5 o'clock shadow.
So fat. No, he still has rubbish for facial hair. But, yeah. Hefty Lefty says, it was a mind jolt for me when I saw the freshmen in college having been born after September 11th, 2001. Yeah. Ouch. Killer Rabbit says, wow, Keon. I remember when Keon was happy and gave listeners props a few years ago. Now Keon's a grumpy old man yelling at everybody. Keon is definitely going to be the guy yelling at people in his front yard. He will. He'll go. I think that, I can totally see that. I don't know what he's going to be yelling about, and they're never going to see it coming. They won't know exactly what it is that sets him off. But when they do, they're going to hear him all the way down the street.
I don't know. The me yelling thing has been a bit since I got here. So like, that's not a new thing. I don't know. I don't know.
He says he's mild mannered, but I
like to argue, and I just forget that like in my family, when we all argue, even when we're having fun doing it, the volume in that building just gets very loud. And I have come to learn most people can't handle that, and that's fine. I just got to take some steps back. It's all good.
Beer Bob says, you're old when some of your favorite music growing up's now being played in elevators. Or yeah, like in the grocery store, like I said.
Dude, I was somewhere and I heard a Van Halen song being done by Muzak.
Oh God.
I think it was Jump.
Oof. Shooter McGavin says, House, you're old? Welcome to the jungle. That came out 37 years ago.
Wow.
Hamilton Porter says, what screwed with me was when I watched a Michigan game and Scottie Pippen's son was on the team.
That'll ruin you. When the kids start coming up, Carmelo Anthony's kid, Kion Anthony, just committed to Syracuse. And I was like, ugh. I remember watching Melo at Syracuse. That's not good. That doesn't make me feel good at all.
Lost Toby says, yeah, Keon, used to be a bit. Now it's reality.
No, that's been me the entire time.
Yeah, he's always been a yeller.
The bit was based on that's who I am. I never thought that people would take that personally. And
I didn't take it personally. I just thought you were yelling at me. I'm like, what the hell are you yelling at me?
Well, no, obviously.
If I need to get yelled at, I need to get yelled at.
You are the mouthpiece for the fourth dimension. And so when I'm responding to the text, I have no choice.
Don't make me an actor in your play.
But I didn't.
Make sure you use their name or something. All I just knew was, oh, Jesus Christ, he's looking right at me.
They're not here. I'm just looking at the camera, not you. You're not in the building. There's just a camera right here in front of me.
Just caught me off guard. That's
okay.
Devil Hawk says, Keon doesn't yell. If you want to hear yelling, come over to my house and piss my wife off.
I mean, listen, what I'm learning too is also just we do things differently out here in Arizona. On the East Coast, that's nothing. When people do radio in DC and New York and Philly, that's nothing what I just did.
Oh, so I don't care if you yell. I just
well, no, I'm talking mostly about the texters that are like, "Wow, I can't believe!" Like, man, you would not survive sport talk radio in some parts of this country. This is a little softer than what I'm used to. I don't.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that, Jeffrey? He's saying we're soft.
I guess so.
I didn't say you.
Wow.
We're a different speed on this show. We can get into good arguments, and I'm sure there's times that Keon and I are yelling at each other. And I don't notice it when it's happening.
And I don't know. I've never taken anything personally, but sometimes I take some steps back and go, maybe I just got to adjust.
Lost Toby says Keon would definitely kill the messenger. Hamlin Porter says, I think the Mellow team was the one that made it to the finals.
Yeah. That team was good. And Carmelo Anthony, that's the best basketball in terms of how I see the game of basketball and how much I enjoy watching basketball in different eras. That era of college basketball, that's my favorite.
Randy, you and I are too old.
Yes, we are.
For what I'm about to share with you.
Okay.
But Keon could still get away with it.
All right.
Keon, do you drink beer at home?
Yeah.
You enjoy a nice lager, a nice frosty one there?
Every now and then, yeah.
Well, listen to this. Miller Lite is releasing a limited edition Yule Lager, and they say it's a digital beer pouring fireplace. And here's what it looks like.
Okay.
Wow. So it's got the beer. It comes up. You can see the beer in like the little chimney thing. And that screen right there, it's not a real fireplace. That's just a video of fire so that the keg inside stays nice and cold. And so, so it's like a little piece of furniture there. Now, if you don't like Miller Lite, here's what I say. You get your hands on this, put your own beer logo on it, whatever you want. Like I'd stick Guinness on there. I don't know what you guys would stick on there. But it's holds beer. Or any beer you want, but this specifically is for the Miller Lite. You can store your cans below the screen. You see right there. Of course, I don't know if those stay cold or not, but you can make it look nice. You know, I mean, this is something you can't have with a wife. You can't have that. There's no way Randy or I.
Got to be a single guy.
It'd be up for a day, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Where's my beer fireplace?" And she's like, "That's in the garage. You know where it's at."
Yeah,
it's in the backyard.
So it's not going to be widely acceptable. They're only made 50 of these things. You can get it for $250 from the Miller Lite site. I think that's where it's at. I don't know where it's at, but I don't know. Would you want one of these? If you were single, you would. Who wouldn't want a beer fireplace? And then that screen is just like a little fireplace all the time.
It just seems like a fancy way of having a cooler.
By the way, if you like fake fireplaces on your TV, the YouTube feed they use for this thing, it runs for 9 hours. So
Wow.
you
could just throw that out. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, with the holiday parties fast approaching.
I don't know that that's something that I would need just because, like,
it's not a need
or what. I got a fridge already. Like, what do I need? What do I need?
You want this? This is awesome. This
it
really ties the room together.
I suppose it just seems like a beer cooler with extra steps.
All right, maybe this is more your speed. Pizza Hut just dropped their own pizza flavored wine made from tomatoes instead of grapes.
What?
They say it captures the essence of your favorite slice. There it is right there.
I don't want
Pizza Hut wine.
I don't want wine to capture the essence of my favorite slice. I want my favorite slice to capture that essence.
Well,
I don't want my wine to taste any like pizza any more than I want my pizza to taste like wine.
I am sure people have been drinking wine going, why can't this taste like bad pizza? And
I've wondered that the same all the time. Yeah.
So they're selling that for $25. But you got to buy two. So
I don't even want one.
You can get like a gift box version. They say the taste is an aromatic blend of fresh herbs and spices, rich sun-ripened tomato notes, and a subtle hint of toasted oak.
I think that they're hoping that if they use all the fancy wine words, then they're going to trick somebody into buying that. No, I don't want my wine to taste like pizza. I don't want any alcohol I drink to taste like pizza. I usually have it with pizza.
What about bacon?
They didn't say anything about bacon.
I want my bacon to taste like bacon. I don't want anything else to taste like bacon.
Jeffco, we need to start working on our bacon wine.
Bacon wine?
Oh, yeah.
Can I just tell you, nothing that is bacon flavored outside of bacon ever comes out quite right.
That's why we need to do it, because it will be done right.
Okay. I mean, we can work on it, but I have no idea how to do it.
Well, I'll start studying up right now.
Seems like an excuse just for you and I to make and eat a lot of bacon.
Which you can just do.
I'm fine with it. Let's research. Fish Tank says, so I'm not a wine drinker, but if you told me it tastes like pizza, I'd give it a shot. But it tastes like Pizza Hut, so do you still want it?
It doesn't matter what pizza. I don't know.
I kind of like Pizza Hut. All right, kind of.
I don't know when they make a food taste like another food. Like I saw they had like the Oreo flavored Coca-Cola. Why?
No,
I can just eat Oreos if I want the flavor of Oreos in my mouth. If I want Coke, I will just drink the Coca-Cola. I don't need the Coca-Cola to be made in such a way that it also tastes like Oreos. That's just unnecessary to me.
Raven Kid is trying to text in about his Raven Kid name. And I'm like, hey, don't you need to change your kids' diapers? Go on. 2968 says, hey, I live on the East Coast in Nova Scotia, and Sports Talk Radio here has no yelling. It's very mild. Everyone's very polite and respectful of each other's opinions. Okay, well, we might not yell that much on the show. But you can't say we're polite. You can't say we're respectful. You can't really say anything other than maybe we don't yell as much. And by the way, I'm not reading one more goddamn text from you until you give us a texture nickname.
And also, you answered your own question. You're on the East Coast in Nova Scotia. Immediately, I don't care. I don't listen to Sport Talk Radio in Canada. I do not care. Could not care less about what you all are doing up there north of this country. I
wish we were on in Buffalo. I think we would be a hit in Buffalo.
I think we'd be a hit in most places given a chance.
Probably not Philly, though.
No, not Philly. Probably not.
Well, but no one's a hit in Philly. Like, even if you're good at radio in Philly, you're still unpopular.
Who said we're good at radio? I think we would be.
I never claimed that.
I said, even if you were.
If we went to Buffalo and we were on in Buffalo, I think we would be a hit.
When I was in England, they were like, hey, you should do your show here. I'm like, do you think they'd really want me here? They're like, oh, God, yes. Like, really? Wow. Okay.
Have you heard the BBC?
No, I know, but it's not like they want me on there.
Cheerio, boys.
I didn't hear one person say cheerio when I was there.
Not cheerio, but you're watching BBC Sport. Like, all right, cool. I don't know.
Thing is, I couldn't go there because I don't care about soccer.
Yeah, because you'd have to talk about soccer. You'd have no choice.
Don't call it soccer over there. Oh,
don't care. Free Guy says, have you seen the movie? Big fan. You want to see how Sports Talk Radio is in Philly or New York? Watch that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raven Kid says, Jeffrey, I told you about the kid thing in confidence. Random texter doesn't even know yet. Well, since you have two kids and a mortgage, I don't know how he doesn't know. Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, you think I'm below Pizza Hut? I'll eat Little Caesars right now. Dude, I love Little Caesars.
Oh, yeah, I do too. I love that they have the pepperonis for $5. You just walk in, grab it, pay, and leave.
What? Oh, they already made
pizzas. The pepperoni
it's
and
in
cheese
the warmer right there. Yeah. Just swipe your card, bam, you're out the door. I love that.
Well, what messes it up for us is our daughter likes to eat the cheese pizza. Mm-hmm. And so then we have to call ahead.
Oh.
And then sometimes wait. And then the Queen Creek Little Caesars, there we ordered it online, and the son goes to go pick it up, and he's stuck there for 40 minutes. And they're like, we ran out of dough. Like, are you bleeping me? How you run out of dough?
You have
a bunch of dumb kids working there. That's why.
You have bad managers. That's why. As I worked at a pizza restaurant, and we ran out of dough like 3 times.
You just don't. That's the thing. So yeah, well,
if your manager's not any good,
my
not order
app
enough.
Says, "Oh, it's ready to come pick up." That kid sat there for 40 minutes. I felt bad for him. I mean,
well,
still made him take out the trash, but I felt bad for him.
Yeah, as you should. Yeah.
Devil Hawk says, "Hey, Keon, that Oreo Coke Zero tastes amazing. Don't knock it till you try it."
I did try it.
Yeah,
I did try it. I would like my Oreos to taste like more Oreos and my Coca-Cola to taste like Coca-Cola.
You know what I'm sad about? I never got the Oreos with Pop Rocks in. I never got to try them.
When did that come out? I don't remember that.
Over the summer, I think.
Wow.
Swazman says the only time I ever drank wine is when I had a girlfriend. Otherwise, it's been cervezas. You know, but red wine with turkey on Thanksgiving, that's pretty damn good. 2968 says Nova Scotia. Okay, I'm not reading your text anymore. I'm not reading them.
We've been over this.
That's right. I just remembered. I'm not reading your text until you have a text or nickname. The end. We got to take a break. When we come back, we have other assorted things. And on this date in Big George's sports history, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. SportTrade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then SportTrade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download SportTrade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
SportTrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Let's go!
ABC tonight, country music's biggest night, the CMA Awards.
Let's party, Nashville!
Kicks off with this year's must-see collaboration, Post Malone featuring Chris Stapleton, live. With electrifying performances by Lainey Wilson, Shabuzi, Ashley McBride, Luke Bryan, plus Thomas Rhett and Teddy Swims. Woo! Luke Bryan, Peyton Manning, and Lainey Wilson host the CMA Awards live tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC, and stream next day on Hulu.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com. Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Porte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more. Or stream us live anywhere at 1580thefanatic.com. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for sports.
Little Pops wants to know what the hell a Shabuzi is.
Shabuzi?
Shabuzi? Oh, yeah. I was only half listening, and I started hearing all these made-up words. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, it's country music?
Shabuzi's a singer.
And
who is he's on the AMA Awards.
That's a boy?
That's a guy.
Shabuzi.
Yeah. That's a stage name. I don't know what his actual name is because I don't really listen to country music.
Remember when, I'll tell you what, in the past, country music singers, I mean, I don't care for country music, but at least they had manly names. The hell's a Jelly Roll or a Shabuzi? You know? What happened?
Jelly Roll is always more of a jazz name to me. I think of Jelly Roll Morton.
Yeah, that's a good point.
that's more of a I don't know. I don't listen to enough country music and I don't really care. So
enough is too much.
Collins Obinya Shabuzi, professionally known as Shabuzi.
Is that a real name or is it a made-up word?
American music singer, songwriter, and record producer, gained initial attention for his 2018 song "Start a Riot."
It's like Shabuzi, like basic,
like Sha, S-H-A, boozy, like boozy, like booze, with an E-Y at the end.
This is as close to country music as I feel like I need to get.
But it doesn't say he's a country music guy.
Well,
he's written songs for Spider-Man movies.
He had a country song this year, and that's how I know, because it's been inescapable
Watch me get out of talking about country music expertly, but also desperately when you hear what I move to talk about rather than talk about country music. Hey, turns out Caitlin Clark's not going to play in the Unrivaled League.
Cool.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Is that a big deal?
I mean, I think it would have been cool for them just because this is a league that they're trying to set up for really not the big stars in the league. Like the big stars are setting it up, but it's going to help a lot of people not have to go overseas to be able to play basketball, to make ends meet, in the off season. So in that regard, the opportunity to have Caitlin Clark be a big draw for it, would have been nice. But
Randy, do they need to change the name of it from Unrivaled now that Caitlin Clark's not in it to Rivaled?
Boy,
I just wanted to make him turn on his microphone so you could hear the kennel behind him. Why are your dogs barking so much? What are they upset about?
So what happens is Blue likes to play at this time every day, and he attacks Cecil, and they start wrestling around. And Cecil is very vocal, and where Blue is just more of he's a little bleep. He tries to get in there and bite Cecil on the neck, and Cecil's trying to defend himself, and it's actually quite funny to watch these guys, because then Blue gets the zoomies and he runs around the kitchen where Kim is in the kitchen right now making some bread, and he would like to run through the kitchen and then like a figure eight through the family room around the thing that we have there, and then he goes back through the kitchen. He's running really fast, and Cecil stands there, and every time he goes by Cecil tries to grab him, and he just goes faster and faster. Yeah.
So he just stands there barking at him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He barks at him. Yeah.
So back to Unrivaled or Rivaled. Moiswin says, call it Unraveled, because without her name. Yeah. Fish Tank says Caitlin Clark is probably like one of 5 players in the WNBA who actually doesn't need the money.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I understand why she said no, and I don't know that it's going to unravel. Like, I don't think that they pinned this whole thing on, God, we hope Caitlin Clark plays. Like it's going to be basketball fans hopefully watching, women's basketball in a way that isn't like the WNBA just does things that are just weird and dumb. Like, how do you schedule all of your primetime games at the same time, regardless of where in the country the games are being played? You've got 4 games people would like to watch, and they're all happening together. No one's split screening that. Separate that thing. Get some one primetime matchup, then the other one. It's just like there's just management decisions that I think that they're also trying to escape from, and we'll see.
Moisa says, no, it's definitely going to unravel.
I don't think so. Just from what I've read, it seems like they've got a very solid business plan. They're not just, this is not just an attempt to throw something at the wall and see what sticks. This is not even competition for the WNBA.
Why are you yelling, Moisa?
It's just, it's going to be, I think, an interesting experiment. And I hope it genuinely works.
He says, I have no idea about it at all.
they have a lot of they've got several teams already, and they've got rosters on these teams,
and they've got a lot of players that have agreed to play. It's just
some of the players include Kelsey Plum. We know Kelsey Plum.
Yeah.
Skylar Diggins Smith, Jewel Lloyd, Brianna Stewart is playing.
Fresh off
JonBenet Ramsey.
No.
What?
No, she's not playing.
No.
Let's see. Chelsea Gray, Aaliyah Copper, Angel Reese is playing.
Yeah.
Brittany Grines is playing. Brittany
Griner. I think when you look at Caitlin and the amount of money that Caitlin's making, Caitlin will be okay. She doesn't need this. And that's fine.
Baby Jessica is still alive, but she might be playing.
I doubt that.
Latina Leprechaun says, is Moiswin from the same village as Keon? Is that why they both yell? No, Moiswin's from Montana.
What do you mean village?
She says in Guyana.
Why are you asking about if Moist One is from there? Why do you think?
Because he was yelling too.
Also, I was born in a city in Guyana. My dad's from a village, but my mom's from a small rural town. And no, all Guyanese people don't necessarily raise their voices. I said my family.
Yeah, his family's a bunch of yellers.
I don't know. Where'd you get the village stuff from? That's.
I don't want to get invited to a Thanksgiving with Keon's family. Kind of want to get invited. You want to just sit back and kind of just sit there and just kind of watch what happens next.
Just we'll find something to argue about, and we'll argue about it, and we'll all have a good time, and then we'll eat and forget that we were even arguing.
See, if I was there, I would keep my mouth shut, because if I would worry if I jump in there and like try to throw something in there, the entire family would turn on me.
the record scratch.
Oh, boy. Right. So there's Nova Scotian person from 2968, who, by the way, we don't believe you that you're from Nova Scotia, because we've had a rash of fakers. So, but I'll play along, I guess. He says, well, we're known for our TV show, The Trailer Park Boys. You could call me Julian or Bubbles, or you call me Scotia Scott.
I've seen a couple episodes of Trailer Park Boys. That if I remember correctly, I thought it was funny at the time. I'd have to watch it again. It's been like 10 years, but yeah.
Scotia Scott.
I don't care for that. Or I'll call you the Trailer Park Boy, but I don't know about Bubbles. I don't know.
Without having seen the show, I don't think you can.
Yeah, I haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
There's just some weird looking dude with the glasses. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I've been told that if I like Letterkenny, that maybe I'd like that. But I don't know. Anything about a trailer, I get like, no.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. But at least 2968 is trying. Is trying to come up with a Texter nickname. So what do we call him? I think we could do some play on word on Scotia,
Well, what about the Nor'easter? Nova Scotia, Nor'easter.
Chevy Nova Scotia. I don't know. My brain is not really working on all cylinders today. Kind of just, take a message. I'm phoning it in.
It's a Wednesday.
Well, I don't know. We're going to think about it. You should think about it more too. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1931, Notre Dame, undefeated for 3 years. 3 years. Was upset on a final minute field goal by University of Southern California's Johnny Baker. Before a crowd of 52,000 in South Bend, Indiana, they lost 16-14. First loss for the Irish, then nicknamed the Ramblers, in their new stadium dedicated to Newt Rockne. Wow. There's just a whole lot of information. This is probably just the dumbest On This Date I think I've read.
No.
I don't think we care about a kick. I mean, the interesting thing is being undefeated for 3 years. What's the longest a team has gone undefeated? That
3
is
years.
What I find
3 years. I think it was Notre Dame.
Nah, there's got to be somebody who's maybe longer. So the Canadian there is saying, how about I'm open to suggestions. How about Quebec Nordiques? No.
It's already taken.
We're not going to call you the Boston Celtics. What is wrong with you?
What about
no, he's saying that's who he likes. Oh, I see.
No, Nova Scotia Nordique.
No. Go Skosh. Oh yeah. Fish Tank says move over a Skosh or missed by a Skosh.
Skosh.
Let's call him Skosh. I like Skosh.
Got it. Skosh.
Can we just call you Skosh? I think, yeah, well done, Fish Tank. Fish Tanks, there's no off on the genius machine there.
Yeah.
Skosh. It will make no sense to anybody but us. What's up, Skosh? It's like when you call your friend, what's up, Scroat? What? Don't call me Scroat. Nope, that's your name now. You're Scroat. No, this guy's Skosh. I like Skosh.
See, Jeffrey would be dangerous if he were a pilot in the Navy, an aviator. Sorry, if he were an aviator, because aviators, they get their names from their counterparts.
Yeah.
In the Navy. So
you wouldn't want to fly anywhere near me.
Jeffrey would be calling you instead of like the Wizard or something. It'd be Scroat.
I had a friend who had cancer when we were in high school, And he had a dark sense of humor like me. And everybody was aghast because I'd walk by and like, hey, what's up, chemotherapy? And like chemosabi, right? And he's like, what's up, lone a-hole? And like, all right. But everybody else is like, oh my God, he knows he has cancer. He knows he has cancer. Why do you think we all shaved our heads?
Yeah.
Was that for nothing? If he didn't know, we all look stupid now. Scotia, I don't think gets it. Scotia's Scotia? Oh, that's fine with me. My first name's Scott. That's why I said Scotia Scott. We're not calling you that. We're calling you Scosh.
Scosh.
Scosh. Nord Scotia, says Silver Pops. I just like Scotia all by itself. That works. Free Guy says, what about the Quebec Nordic? No, I don't think we're not going to do that.
We're way ahead of you on that one.
Big George says, Oklahoma has the longest winning streak in college football history at 47 in a row from 1953 to 1957. Well, that would be a 4-year span. So they win. Moist One says, you probably wore a bald cap like John Stamos. Yeah, I would have. I don't even know where you can buy one.
Which the bald cap in support is like not even real support.
But I support you, but I'm wearing personal protection against not getting dates. Anyway. All right, guys, that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow for a real show. It's the Daily Blitz.